Su Yuan's silver-gray dragon armor, saber, gleamed ominously, cloaked in the dark shimmer of space cut. With a fluid motion, he gripped the blade tightly, raised his arm, and cleaved a bronze high-stage white-bone wolf clean in half. One strike. No resistance. He crouched beside the corpse, expertly extracting the star core from its skull, eyes narrowing thoughtfully. Another undead star beast. Looks like parts of this cave overlap with the Hell Plane. Far more dangerous than expected. Few secret realms on the eastern continent connected to Hell. And when they did, the creatures, be they undead or demons, were a nightmare. Unpredictable, absurdly tough, and cursed with endless persistence. Still, this place is a gold mine for stardust. He casually transformed the core into a bone enhancement, decomposed it, and slid his saber back into its sheath. Then, he moved deeper into the cave. Suddenly, noises ahead caught his attention. Two figures, a young man and a girl, were fleeing toward him, desperation etched on their faces. Behind them surged a massive pack of ghouls. A whole mob of experience points, Su Yuan smirked. In a blur, he unsheathed his saber again and moved toward the chaos. Zhang Yang, what do we do? We're going to get caught. Yang Jie cried out, breath ragged, panic rising. Zhang Yang's jaw was tight, his expression grim but composed. They were both freshmen from Yunyang College. When the Flame Mountain secret realm erupted, many of their schoolmates rushed in. Zhang Yang and Yang Jie had entered with a team, but soon got separated. By luck, the two reunited and joined with a few other scattered students. But not long after, they stumbled into a cavern teeming with undead. Outnumbered and overwhelmed, their group was wiped out. Only Zhang Yang and Yang Jie escaped, and the ghouls never stopped chasing them. We can't stop, Zhang Yang growled. There are 3 bronze-level ghoul leaders behind us. Slowing down means death. Yang Jie cursed on her breath. This doesn't match the intel at all. Molten Lava Cave wasn't supposed to be this infested. A sudden, crushing pressure dropped over them like a tidal wave. Both of them hit the ground, knees buckling, hands digging into the dirt as they tried to breathe. What the hell is this? Zhang Yang gasped, tried to raise his head. Through the haze of force, he caught a glimpse of a figure moving. Fast, blade flashing, ghouls screeching and falling in heaps. Yang Jie trembled. Zhang Yang, are we dying? No, he replied, voice low with awe. Someone's saving us. 5 minutes later, the pressure lifted. Zhang Yang forced himself to stand. Around them lay dozens of mangled ghoul corpses, cleanly decapitated or split in half. Even the 3 bronze-level leaders were among the dead, felled without a single wasted movement. He swallowed hard. All of them gone. A breeze passed behind him. Zhang Yang turned, and there stood a calm, silver-eyed youth, his blood-stained saber glistening at his side. You all right? Su Yuan asked casually. Why, yeah, we're okay, Zhang Yang managed, then bowed slightly. Thank for the rescue. Yang Jie echoed him, still in shock. Thank you. Don't mention it. Su Yuan waved them off. I'm Su Yuan. Which academy are you from? Why were those things chasing you? I'm Zhang Yang. She's Yang Jie. We're from Yunyang College. We got separated after entering, random teleportation. Those ghouls chased us out a large chamber packed with bronze-level undead and even a few elite ones. Su Yuan's eyes lit up. Asterisk elite bronze, star beasts? Excellent. Asterisk. He'd recently used his accumulated star dust from the Great Barbarian Mountains to raise holy light baptism and space cut to the transformation realm. With a little more, he could upgrade space cut to perfection. More importantly, he could instantly max out newly acquired skills with enough dust. Can you take me there? He asked. Yang Jie hesitated, alarmed. Are you serious? There were 2 bronze high-stage elites. Even elite students from Qing Province and Shuzhou Academy couldn't handle them. Just point me in the right direction, Su Yuan said calmly. I'll handle the rest. Zhang Yang took a deep breath, then nodded. I'll guide you. Su Yuan smiled. Appreciate it. You saved us. This is the least I can do, Zhang Yang replied. Then he looked at Yang Jie. If you'd rather stay behind, I understand. Yang Jie stared at the pile of corpses, recalling the terror and hopelessness. Over a dozen bronze undead. Even with Su Yuan's strength, she wasn't sure it would be enough. After a long pause, she gritted her teeth and said, "I'll wait here. Please be careful." Zhang Yang gave her a firm nod. The two men then turned and vanished into the cave's depths. Yang Jie exhaled slowly, heart pounding. This secret realm, it's far deadlier than any of us expected. She knew the realm would eventually collapse. Random teleportation would allow her to exit from anywhere. But until then, survival was everything. That's when she heard it. A faint breeze, a wrong breeze. Before she could react, something struck. Yang Jie whipped around, channeling all her star power into a palm strike. Burning body palm. Crack. She collided with an arm, was thrown backward, blood splashing from her mouth. She crashed into the rocks, barely conscious, eyes widening as her attacker stepped forward. A pale-faced young man, smiling. She tried to speak. "You." Flames erupted from his hand. Asterisk her asterisk flames, triggered by her skill's follow-up ignition. But the man only scoffed. "Cute trick." His arm turned into liquid blood, snuffing out the fire with ease. It reformed a moment later. "Who are you?" Yang Jie screamed. The man didn't answer. He vanished in a blur, reappearing above her with one arm raised. Blood clothes. A wave of blood burst forth, wrapping Yang Jie like a cocoon. Her body arched violently. Her star power sputtered, suppressed. A corrosive agony surged through her as blood invaded her throat. Her cries were choked off. Moments later, the blood veil retracted and only a blackened skeleton remained. The pale youth sighed in satisfaction. "Good. My power's grown again." He turned, eyes glowing red, gaze piercing the darkness in Su Yuan's direction. Then, in a blur of motion, he melted into a shadow of blood and followed. Only a scorched skeleton remained in the silence behind him. Inside the earth cave, Zhang Yang led Su Yuan forward at full speed. After nearly 20 minutes of navigating the winding, dim corridors, they approached a wide clearing and halted at the edge of a brutal scene. Ahead, tangled within dense layers of silvery webbing, two young men fought fiercely for their lives. Surrounded by 4 bronze-level star beasts, they were completely boxed in. One of them, a white-robed youth wielding a saber, Wang Huai, was clearly at the bronze high stage. The other, Wu Yu, fought beside him with a long spear. He was at the bronze middle stage, the same level as Zhang Yang. All around them, the ground was littered with corpses, low-tier beasts, and even 2 bronze-level monsters they had managed to kill. But the remaining enemies were far deadlier. 2 ogre battle axemen, bronze high stage, brute strength attackers. 1 earth cave demon spider, bronze intermediate elite, a control-type beast. 1 zombie tyrannosaurus, bronze high stage elite, a fortress of muscle and bone. The ogre battle axe men launched savage strikes with their massive frost-forged axes, while the earth cave demon spider slowed its prey with thick webs and venomous spit. Worst of all, the zombie tyrannosaurus stood like a living wall, its jagged fangs able to crush even star devices. Wu Yu, already wounded, bled freely from a massive gash in his chest. His grip on the spear faltered with each swing, his stamina and star power depleting fast. "Wang Huai, I can't hold out much longer." Wu Yu gasped, teeth clenched in pain. Wang Huai didn't respond. He couldn't afford to. Barely managing to fend off both the spider and the undead tyrant, he gritted his teeth and shouted, "Just hold on." Their retreat was blocked by layers of webs, sticky strands resistant to both star power and physical force. Time was against them, and the spider kept weaving more. Suddenly, a blinding blue-gray flame shot through the air. Boom! The heads of both ogre battle axe men exploded simultaneously, like bursting melons, showering gore across Wu Yu's stunned face. He froze, disoriented. What just happened? From within the dense webbing, a slender, silver-eyed figure stepped forward, blue-gray embers still flickering in his palms. It was Su Yuan. Outside the web zone, Zhang Yang stood frozen, eyes wide. Instant movement? And he one-shot them both. Zhang Yang had hesitated to act when he saw the scene. But before he could decide, Su Yuan had already charged in, launched Gray Flame Strike, and executed both ogres in a clean ambush. Despite being a Tier 3 green skill, Gray Flame Strike at the Transformation Realm, amplified by Su Yuan's bronze-level star power, was enough to kill two unsuspecting bronze high-stage beasts in one shot. Wang Huai noticed the change instantly. Though unfamiliar with Su Yuan, it was clear this stranger was no threat. He gave a curt nod in thanks and redoubled his efforts alongside Wu Yu. Su Yuan didn't pause. He raised both hands, summoning two more gray flame strikes, this time weaving them together. The flames coiled and compressed, fusing under a torrent of star power until they formed a larger, spiraling inferno. Twin Phoenix Strike. Sensing danger behind it, the zombie Tyrannosaurus roared and turned its monstrous body to face the new threat, lunging straight at Su Yuan. But Wang Huai wasn't about to let it win bind. Twin gales shot from Wang Huai's fingers, tangling around the tyrant's legs. Crack, snap! It thrashed, tearing through the bindings in seconds. But seconds were all Su Yuan needed. The blazing Twin Phoenix Strike surged forward, two streaks of compressed gray fire whirling in tandem, and slammed into the beast's chest. Boom! The explosion was deafening. A smoking crater the size of a basin was blown straight through the zombie Tyrannosaurus's torso. The beast shuddered, jaw gaping in disbelief, before collapsing like a crumbling fortress. Su Yuan lowered his arms, letting the residual flames dissipate with a quiet hiss. Much better with a front line covering me, he mused. I see why magicians enjoy this role, though it burns through energy fast. Still, he didn't move to engage again. He left the last enemy, the Earth Cave Demon Spider, for Wang Huai and Wu Yu to handle. He had no interest in stealing credit for the kill, and the web ability didn't interest him. Elemental magnetism pressure already gave him control over movement and fields. The two students from Qing Province Academy didn't disappoint. With renewed vigor and breathing room, they launched their final assault. Sky-splitting wind gap slash. Wang Huai roared. Blast gun rain. Wu Yu followed. Steel wind and explosive thrusts tore through the spider's chitinous body. Moments later, it collapsed, unmoving. Breathing hard, Wang Huai and Wu Yu approached Su Yuan. Hey, classmate. I'm Wang Huai. He's Wu Yu, freshman at Qing Province Academy. You saved our lives. Thank you. Su Yuan gave a casual smile. Su Yuan. As the spider died, its web dissolved around them. Zhang Yang rushed over from the shadows. Wang Huai. Wu Yu. Are you all right? Wu Yu blinked in surprise. Zhang Yang? I thought you and Yang Jie got swarmed by ghouls. Then he turned to Su Yuan. Wait, don't tell me. He saved you too? Exactly, Zhang Yang nodded. And he's the one who brought me here. Wu Yu gave Zhang Yang a grateful slap on the shoulder. You brought over a beast of a helper. Without him, we'd be with Zhou Jian and the others right now. His voice trailed off. The joy in his face faded. Zhang Yang stiffened. The others? Wang Huai looked down, his expression heavy. We're the only ones left.
Hey, welcome to Firescale Audiobooks. If you enjoy our audiobooks, please consider subscribing to the channel. Also, feel free to share your review in the comments section below.
None of them made it out. Zhang Yang's heart trembled upon hearing this. Is that really the case? Although Zhang Yang had somewhat anticipated this, he couldn't help but take a deep breath. This was the secret realm, where life and death were uncertain. Those who dared to explore had to be prepared for their demise. The path of the Star Card Master was never one of safety and enjoyment, especially for those who aimed to become strong Star Card Masters. Besides the necessary talent, it required more effort and bearing greater risks. Wang Huai saw that Zhang Yang was alone and asked, By the way, where is Yang Jie? Zhang Yang replied, She's over there waiting for us. We'll go find her together in a bit. Wang Huai and Wu Yu's expressions both changed ever so subtly. As long as she's fine. Wang Huai nodded and said after a brief contemplation, But we won't go with you. In reality, Yang Jie protecting herself wasn't much of an issue. The team was a temporary one, and everyone was unfamiliar with each other, so there was no need to take great risks for others. But giving up on a teammate in critical moments, regardless of right or wrong, or the reasons, would make the team awkward and hard to work together again. Zhang Yang sighed inwardly. He naturally understood this reasoning and said, "All right, you both be careful then." After Wang Huai finished speaking, he turned to ask Su Yuan, "Su Yuan, do you want to come with us? With us leading, we guarantee your powerful long-range skills can be fully utilized, and will prioritize your safety." Wu Yu also chimed in, "Yes, Su Yuan, come with us." Clearly, Wang Huai and Wu Yu both considered Su Yuan, who used Gray Flame Strike to obliterate the zombie Tyrannosaurus and Ogre Battle Axe Man, as a magician. Since Su Yuan was a powerful attacking magician, teaming up as three would definitely boost their strength significantly. Moreover, Su Yuan had saved them. If they teamed up, they could share some of the loot with Su Yuan to repay him. Zhang Yang chuckled at their words. "Wang Huai, Wu Yu, you're underestimating Su Yuan. His long-range spells are formidable, but he's not a magician. He has even more impressive abilities." Zhang Yang remembered clearly. Earlier, all those ghouls were killed instantly by a single slash from Su Yuan. "Oh, is that so?" Wang Huai and Wu Yu both looked at Su Yuan again in surprise. Could someone with such powerful long-range skills not be a magician? Su Yuan smiled and said, "I have two friends with me as well. It's more dangerous here than I thought. I need to find them soon, so I can't join you." "I see." Wang Huai looked quite disappointed. "All right, wish you luck." Su Yuan nodded and added, "But before that, I plan to clear out the cave you mentioned." Wang Huai and the others were taken aback by this. Wu Yu widened his eyes. "Are you sure? There are nearly 10 bronze-level star beasts and a large number of star apprentices and star beasts inside." Su Yuan confirmed, "Yes, I'm sure." After some thought, Wang Huai suggested, "It seems too dangerous for you alone. How about this? If you insist on going, Wu Yu and I will accompany you. The zombie Tyrannosaurus and Earth Cave Demon Spider here are dead, so the remaining forces in the cave are greatly weakened. With Wu Yu and me assisting, we should have a chance against the remaining bronze-level star beasts. It's better than you going alone. Don't worry, we won't take any of the loot. It's all yours." Wu Yu echoed, "That's right. Since you saved us, we should help you in return. But we're in poor condition right now. You'll have to wait for us to rest first." How does that sound? These students from Qing province were quite loyal. Su Yuan looked at Wang Huai and Wu Yu, and his gaze fell on the wound on Wu Yu's chest, injured by the Ogre Battle Axe Man. Su Yuan formed a hand sign, and golden light flashed and faded from his hands. Immediately, a pale golden light pillar descended from mid-air, shining upon Wu Yu. Wu Yu was momentarily dazed, then felt a warm sensation all over his body, especially at the chest wound, which tingled pleasantly. Looking down, he saw the massive wound visibly stopping its bleeding and scabbing over. In just a few seconds, it almost completely healed without leaving a trace. What a powerful healing skill, Wu Yu exclaimed. Wang Huai and Zhang Yang were also amazed. They didn't expect Su Yuan to be not only an extremely capable fighter, but also to possess such incredible healing abilities. After all, Su Yuan used the Transformation Realm's Holy Light Baptism. Healing Wu Yu's external injuries was more than sufficient. Wu Yu came to his senses, overwhelmed with joy and gratitude towards Su Yuan. Su Yuan waved it off with a smile and said, "I also need rest and recovery. So, when we clear the cave later, your kills can keep the star cores." Seeing Su Yuan agree, Wang Huai and Wu Yu stopped insisting on not taking anything. They readily agreed with a smile. All right. Observing the three of them working together with such unity to explore the secret realm, Zhang Yang also felt a strong urge to join in. However, thinking of Yang Jie, he sighed inwardly. Sighing softly, Zhang Yang said, "You all be careful then. I'll go find Yang Jie." Wang Huai nodded. "All right, you be careful too." Zhang Yang turned and left while Su Yuan, Wang Huai, and Wu Yu started to gather the star cores on the ground. The three then left the battle site and moved to a slightly safer place. 2 hours later, Su Yuan had completely recovered. The reason for such a rapid recovery was, first, because he still had more than half of his original star power. Second, the effect of his extremely high star power talent also significantly aided in his recovery. After waiting for a while, Wang Huai and Wu Yu both stood up as well. Su Yuan asked, "How are you two doing?" "Almost there," Wang Huai smiled. "Although we're not completely recovered, we're better for the most part." Wu Yu patted his chest, saying, "Me too." Su Yuan smiled and said, "All right, let's go then." Following Wang Huai and Wu Yu, the group hurried towards the depths of the secret realm. Before long, they arrived outside the cave Zhang Yang and the others had mentioned. The three of them hid behind a rock wall, crouching and carefully observing inside through the cave entrance. "This is it," Wu Yu swallowed nervously, whispering to Su Yuan. Su Yuan looked up. The cave was large, and because the outside magma light couldn't penetrate, it was quite dim inside, which explained why Wang Huai, Zhang Yang, and the others had earlier accidentally ventured in. Upon closer inspection, the cave was teeming with all kinds of undead star beasts, estimated to be around 100 of them. Aside from some low-stage star apprentice star beasts, there were several bronze-level star beasts too. Deep within the cave, something was emitting a faint green light, but it was unclear what it was due to the dense layers of star beasts obstructing the view. "What is that inside?" Su Yuan asked in a low voice. Wang Huai replied, "It seems to be coming from a green crystal on a black stone pillar. We saw it in the chaos earlier, but we couldn't get past them. One of our companions did try to rush over, but..." Wu Yu shook his head and sighed. "People die for wealth, birds for food. It's not uncommon for people to lose their reason over treasures." Su Yuan nodded. Whatever it was, they'd know once they cleared out the cave. Wang Huai turned to Su Yuan. "Do you have any plans?" "Plans?" Su Yuan stood up and walked out from behind a rock wall. As Wang Huai and Wu Yu stared in shock, he walked directly to the cave entrance and spread his arms. 2 balls of azure blue flames rose in his palms. "The plan is to charge straight in." As Su Yuan approached the entrance, all the star beasts in the cave lifted their eyes towards him. Green, purple, red, various colors of eyes blinked in the darkness. Immediately, the cave was filled with sudden turmoil. Various strange and piercing sounds arose, and ghouls, skull snakeheads, netherworld snakes, a large number of undead star beasts all charged towards Su Yuan at the entrance. Seeing the star beasts rushing in with such momentum, Su Yuan's expression didn't change much. He clasped his hands together, and the twin phoenix strike was ready. 2 streams of azure lightning tangled and shot out for 100 meters, instantly illuminating the entire cavern and smashing through all the star beasts in a straight line. With one strike, nearly 20% of them were obliterated. That was damn brutal. Wang Huai and Wu Yu were both shocked. They had expected some elaborate plan, but Su Yuan was so direct. But with Su Yuan already making his move, the two exchanged glances, gritted their teeth, and charged in as well. Roar! In the cave, a 6-meter-tall flesh puppet saw Su Yuan's actions and immediately opened its massive mouth. A green light ball rapidly formed in its mouth and then shot towards Su Yuan at high speed. Green skill, rotting beam. Su Yuan's eyes flashed, and he abruptly disappeared from his original position, narrowly dodging the extremely fast attack. The next moment, hovering above the flesh puppet's head, Su Yuan flicked the dragon armor saber, and a layer of dense black light surged onto the blade. Su Yuan's gaze sharpened, and he descended with a slash at the top of the flesh puppet's head. Slash! The black line quickly descended, slicing the flesh puppet from head to foot in an instant. The next moment, the 4-meter-tall flesh puppet was split in two. Boom! The body of the flesh puppet collapsed with a crash, and the surrounding undead star beasts finally reacted, emitting various high-pitched and sharp cries as they surrounded him. Su Yuan remained calm. Gray light swirled around him, and the gravity domain expanded from his body with a boom. In an instant, All the star beasts within a radius of several dozen meters were firmly pinned in place. Even the double-winged bats and blind-eyed mercenary beasts in the air fell to the ground like beans hitting the floor. The hunt begins. Su Yuan activated the wind walking and began slaughtering with his long saber at high speed. Wherever he went, except for a few bronze elite star beasts that could still struggle, all other star beasts were immobilized, like lambs to the slaughter, easily cut down by Su Yuan. In an instant, limbs flew and blood splattered, a complete massacre. This was the absolute gap in quality. Even with several times, or dozens of times the numbers, it couldn't be compensated for, unless they could exhaust all the star power in Su Yuan's body. But Su Yuan's killing efficiency was too high. In just a few moments, more than 20 star beasts had already fallen under his blade, unable to withstand his onslaught at all. At this moment, two molten rock generals, blazing with fierce flames, seemed unaffected by the pressure. They charged forward under the elemental magnetism pressure, their massive footsteps echoing in the cave, creating a formidable presence. Resistance to abnormal states. Su Yuan stared at the two molten rock generals. With a flick of his saber, a large amount of star power surged out, and the black light on the blade deepened significantly. Space cut, boundary line. Su Yuan swung his long saber, and a several-meter-long black line abruptly slashed across the two molten rock generals. The orange flame in the molten rock generals' eyes flared, and their upper bodies were neatly sliced off, flying several meters due to inertia before rolling to Su Yuan's feet, where he stomped on them, causing them to shatter. Space cut, boundary line. A trait evolved after perfect space cut, consuming more star power for a longer range. More destructive cut that traverses space. Su Yuan took a slight breath. After finishing off the two molten rock generals, he continued to slice through the remaining star beasts in the cavern. Time passed, and the cave gradually quieted down. Wang Huai and Wu Yu panted heavily, their hearts pounding as they looked around at the numerous dead, undead star beasts scattered everywhere. An incredibly surreal feeling welled up inside them. This certainly wasn't their doing. The two of them had only managed to kill 2 bronze-level star beasts and a dozen star apprentice star beasts. As for the rest, including most of the bronze elites, they were all killed by Su Yuan. The two looked up to see the young man calmly extracting star cores from the star beast corpses and storing them in his ring, his face expressionless, as if such an astounding record was nothing to him. What a monster! Wang Huai and Wu Yu took a deep breath, suppressing their intense emotions, and started to collect the star cores from the star beasts they had killed. After a while, the three of them had finished cleaning up and reached the innermost part of the cave, in front of the pillar emitting the faint green light. The pillar was dark green with some crooked runes engraved on it, exuding a cold aura. At the top, a fist-sized emerald green crystal was embedded. Wu Yu examined the crystal with anticipation. Is this the reward for clearing the lair? Wang Huai said, whether it is or not, it's Su Yuan's. Don't get any ideas. Of course not. Wu Yu crossed his arms and pouted. I'm just curious. Wang Huai smiled, knowing it was just a joke. Actually, Wang Huai and Wu Yu were just fellow students from Qing Province Academy who didn't know each other before. But over the past 2 days of teaming up in the molten lava cave, they had overcome many obstacles together, especially during their earlier siege by the zombie Tyrannosaurus and other undead star beasts, where they had shared life and death. Life and death best reveal one's true nature. They had come to understand and appreciate each other's character, which was why they continued to stick together. Su Yuan observed for a while. The crystal contained concentrated star power, somewhat similar to a star core. Combined with a ruined pillar, it seemed to be a simple device. Su Yuan said to the two, better be safe. Step back a bit while I take it down. Okay, be careful. Wang Huai and Wu Yu stepped back, star power flowing within them, ready to assist if needed. Su Yuan reached out to take the emerald green crystal. As soon as he touched it, he gained an understanding. This thing, it actually contains a star card. Su Yuan activated his star power, which flowed into the crystal. Amid the flashing light, The crystal decomposed into a star card, emitting a vibrant green glow. Netherwolf Summon. Summoning card? Su Yuan's heart stirred slightly as he checked the attributes of the card. Netherwolf Summon. Gray-green. Introduction. A summoning technique developed by undead mages that can connect to hell and summon Netherfire Steelbone Wolves for control. Netherfire Steelbone Wolf. Grade Elite. Species, Undead Wolf. Talent. Netherflame Bone. Contains Netherfire within its bones, enhancing physical defense by 10% and fire resistance by 20%. Additionally, it causes continuous Netherfire corrosion on the targeted area for a certain period. Element. Gold, Fire. 6 dimensions. Strength. D. Agility. D. Defense. D. Constitution. F. Spirit. F. Star Power. Skills. Netherfire Cannon, green. Netherfire Steel Claws, green. Skeleton Charge, white. Seeing the attributes of this star card, Su Yuan couldn't help but feel delighted. This was a summoning card capable of summoning a star beast with 3D talent. A summoning card also belonged to the skill star card category, but it was relatively unique. Among the various factions of star card masters, there were 2 major branches under sorcerers who primarily relied on summoning for combat. One was the Beast Tamer, and the other was the Summoner. Beast Tamers formed contracts with star beasts, treating them as companions, growing together. Summoners, on the other hand, summoned star beasts, energy bodies, and even non-biological summons through magic techniques. Compared to Beast Tamers, Summoners had the advantage of summoning and using their creatures instantly without worrying about their death or damage. However, the downside was that summoned creatures couldn't be cultivated, having limited potential and growth. Each summon consumed their spiritual power and star power, acting more like tools in battle. Nonetheless, practitioners of these 2 factions were relatively rare due to the high entry barriers. Not everyone could master them. First, Starcar Masters needed high spiritual power to enhance summoning effects and increase the summoning limit, which was fundamental. Secondly, considerable financial resources were necessary. Beast Tamers needed to purchase materials for their beast's growth, while Summoners had to buy various summoning cards. As summoned creatures had limited strength, Summoners had to constantly upgrade their summoning cards to match their own level, leading to substantial expenses. Lastly, whether a Beast Tamer or Summoner, having talents that could strengthen beasts or summon creatures was advantageous. Due to these requirements, such Starcar Masters were very rare. Finding even one Summoner among 100 Starcar Masters was difficult. However, it didn't mean only Summoners could embed summoning cards. On the contrary, good summoning cards were highly sought after by all Starcar Masters. Summoned creatures varied widely, providing advantages beyond battle, such as reconnaissance, tracking, healing, and buffing, greatly benefiting Starcar Masters. Apart from human-developed summoning techniques, star beasts with summoning skills were incredibly rare and usually humanoid. Thus, summoning cards in the market were very scarce, comparable in rarity to weapon cards. At this moment, seeing no immediate danger, Wang Huai and Wu Yu approached. Su Yuan, what is it? Su Yuan replied truthfully, a summoning card. A summoning card? Wu Yu was shocked, eyes filled with envy. A green-grade summoning card, that's very rare. Su Yuan nodded, communicating his star power to embed the Netherfire Steelbone Wolf summon card without hesitation. Although Su Yuan had only studied the beginner stage Star Beast Atlas at the Academy and was unfamiliar with Hell-Plane creatures, the Netherfire Steelbone Wolf had strength, agility, and defense of 3D talent. Even though its constitution and spirit were only F, it wasn't much of a problem for a summoning creature. Su Yuan opened the panel and saw that the information on Netherwolf Summon had already been updated. Netherwolf Summon, green. Entry-level summons a bronze early-stage Netherfire Steelbone Wolf, maximum quantity. 1. Summon effects dynamically change based on the Imperial Master's realm and spiritual power. Su Yuan nodded. Summoning a bronze early-stage Netherfire Steelbone Wolf at the entry level was normal, although this didn't provide much of an enhancement for him. it was only at the entry stage. Once the skill level increased, the power and limit of the summoned creatures would significantly improve. For others, at a bronze early stage, they'd have 6 to 8 skill slots. Besides auxiliary and buff skills, at least 4 to 6 summoning cards would be embedded. This meant they'd have 4 to 6 bronze-level star beasts. Thus, in most cases, summoners could easily outnumber their peers in sheer quantity. Only at the highest levels of engagement did the quality of creatures make. At this point, the ground of the cave slightly trembled, stone pillars slowly retracted, and the wall ahead moved aside, revealing a tunnel entrance fitting 2 people. Wu Yu exclaimed, "What is this?" Wang Huai's eyes lit up. "Seems like the pathway to the core area of the secret realm." Su Yuan nodded in agreement. The 3 of them approached the entrance and peered inside. Inside was a cold, blue stone passageway with dimly glowing illumination stones embedded on both sides, stretching out of sight. Su Yuan asked, "Shall we take a look?" "All right." The 3 of them entered the passage together. After walking for 7 to 8 minutes, the view brightened slightly, revealing a large, undead fortress. Behind them stood a massive 40-meter-tall wall made of bones, adorned with twisted, eerie patterns and unreadable evil runes. In front were various structures, including palaces, altars, and black towers, mainly built from blue and black stones. On the open ground before them, they could see ghost knights, hellish goblins, and other common creatures from hell. The most striking sight was a necromancy hall built entirely of bones at the edge of their vision. Wu Yu took a deep breath and said, "It seems this is the core area of the Molten Cave's secret realm." Wang Huai concurred, "Exactly. Moreover, it appears more aligned with the Hell Plane. It might be a fragment of the Hell Undead domain." Seeing Wang Huai eager to explore, Wu Yu hesitated. The Molten Cave was already more perilous than expected. The core area will likely be even more dangerous. Wang Huai smiled. The path of the Star Card Master isn't without risks. The higher the risk, the greater the rewards. The best treasures in the secret realm are probably in the core area. This is only a bronze-level secret realm. Silver-level creatures shouldn't appear, so it's worth the risk. Wu Yu pondered momentarily, then nodded firmly. "All right, let's venture in." Wang Huai asked Su Yuan, "How about you, Su Yuan? You and your friend are separated. It'll be harder to meet outside, but easier if we head deeper." Su Yuan nodded. "That's my plan too. Besides, I want to see that necromancy hall." Wang Huai agreed. "With your skills, Su Yuan, you should definitely check out the necromancy hall. If this secret realm has any extremely rare treasures, they're likely in there." After a brief contemplation, Wang Huai suggested, "But let's rest and recover before taking separate actions. After all, we consumed a lot fighting in the cave." If not for the recent battle in Qingli Cave, Wang Huai might have asked Su Yuan to consider a team-up. But now, having witnessed Su Yuan's superior strength, Wang Huai dismissed the idea of teaming up. The strength gap was too vast. Forming a team would only result in them being burdensome. Indeed, we need to recover. Su Yuan checked his star power, finding it below 40%. "By the way, Su Yuan," Wu Yu suddenly asked, "which academy did you get into? I noticed your star power fluctuation is at the beginner stage. So, you must be a prospective student at a top-tier academy, right? Stay tuned for updates on Novel Bandcom." "Yes, I'm at Demon Capital." "No wonder. Demon Capital Academy's incoming student, huh?" Wu Yu shook his head with a bitter smile. "Seems like the gap between Qing Province Academy and the Three Capitals Academy is quite significant." Su Yuan laughed. "Usually the gap wouldn't be that wide. After all, I have the system, so don't take me as the standard." Wang Huai studied Su Yuan and nodded in agreement. "Indeed, you're impressive." Wu Yu laughed heartily. "Yes, even our top freshmen might not match you." Wang Huai patted Wu Yu. "Let's stop chatting and find a relatively hidden place to recover quickly." Before Wang Huai could finish his sentence, a rapid, discrete star power fluctuation came from the passage behind them. 3 dark red blood arrows shot swiftly towards Su Yuan and his companions. "Dodge!" Su Yuan shouted, his eyes flashing silver as he instantly teleported out of the way. But Wang Huai and Wu Yu weren't as fortunate. Realizing the danger too late, they only managed a slight dodge, avoiding vital organs. The blood arrows pierced through their bodies, leaving egg-sized blood holes in their chests and abdomens. Wang Huai collapsed heavily, body trembling. Wu Yu fared worse. Despite holy light baptism healing his previous injuries, his vitality hadn't completely recovered. Now heavily injured again, he passed out. Instant movement is indeed impressive, dodging my blood shadow dark arrow in such circumstances. A rather frivolous voice echoed from the stone passage. Su Yuan looked up to see a pale, rosy-faced effeminate youth slowly emerging from the dim passage's exit. You? Seeing this person's appearance, Su Yuan was first a little surprised, then his heart sank somewhat. This young man was one of the trio encountered earlier at the hotel entrance. At that time, the Azure Sky Phoenix had given a warning, and Su Yuan felt that there was something off about the trio. Now, with the other side launching a sudden ambush, their stance was unmistakable. However, what made Su Yuan uneasy was not the sinister youth himself, but that since he did not harbor good intentions, the two others traveling with him, the burly stern youth and the girl in JK uniform, were surely the same type. The molten lava cave was already dangerous enough, and with these malicious people, he hoped Zhuang Sun and Fang Kuan would not encounter those too. Suddenly, Su Yuan seemed to remember something. His eyes narrowed slightly. Have you been following us all along? The sinister youth laughed softly. Yes, I've been following you for half a day, and you never even noticed. Half a day. Wang Huai, suppressing his bleeding with star power, struggled to stand, his forehead sweating and face pale. Upon hearing Su Yuan's question, Wang Huai immediately understood the implication and shouted at the sinister youth. What did you do to Zhang Yang? You mean the man who went back? The sinister youth laughed heartily. Unfortunately, he has already been devoured by my blood power, reduced to bones. The sinister youth's lips curled up. Oh, right. As for the woman who stayed behind, young female blood and flesh essence is truly delicious. Upon hearing this, both Su Yuan and Wang Huai's faces darkened to the extreme. Evil card master. Wang Huai's eyes widened in anger. Damn you, all of you evil card masters. Evil card masters were star card masters who used demonic means to harm others for self-gain and quickly enhance their strength. In the Great Flame Country, evil card masters were prohibited. Once discovered, the city guard or even higher authorities would deal with them. Thus, evil card masters usually operated abroad. Even if they infiltrated domestically, they wouldn't dare to act too blatantly. Injured so badly and still able to talk, the sinister youth sneered, flipping his hand to produce a dark red stinger sword. Looks like I'll have to send you to death to finally shut you up. As he spoke, the sinister youth suddenly transformed into a blood shadow and shot at Wang Huai, thrusting the sword forward. Wang Huai's pupils shrank, wanting to dodge, but intense pain from his chest and abdomen paralyzed him with weakness. Clang! In a critical moment, silver light flashed in front of Wang Huai, and it was Su Yuan who used his dragon armor saber to precisely block the sinister youth's thrust. Su Yuan's hands trembled with the saber, directly forcing the sinister youth back several steps. Take Wu Yu and leave first. Su Yuan didn't even turn his head. Wang Huai was startled, but Su Yuan's expression remained calm. Don't worry, I have instant movement. Nothing will happen. Wang Huai clenched his fists, his face ugly. This sinister young evil car master was at the bronze high stage, seemingly very powerful. Although he wanted to assist in fighting the enemy, given his current state, he was of no help. And with Wu Yu severely injured and unconscious, he had to treat his wounds quickly, or Wu Yu's life would be at risk. All right, be careful. Wang Huai assessed the situation, quickly moved to pick up Wu Yu, took one last look, then gritted his teeth and left. The sinister youth watched Wang Huai and Wu Yu leave without rushing to pursue, instead showing interest in Su Yuan's dragon armor saber. This saber is not bad. The sinister youth's face showed a hint of surprise. Struck by my blood-beast stinger, normal Green Star artifact would be damaged to some extent, but your saber is completely unharmed. Su Yuan had no intention to waste words, raising his left hand. With a flash of gray light, elemental magnetism pressure ruthlessly descended. The sinister youth instantly felt an overwhelming pressure, making his body bend. But at that moment, blood light flowed over the youth's body, and he instantly transformed into an energy body akin to blood water. This pressure technique, right? The sinister youth slowly stood straight and stepped out of the pressure area. The youth grinned. For ordinary people or star beasts, this move is powerful, but for me, it's not very effective. Previously, while following Su Yuan's group, the sinister youth had witnessed the astonishing power of Su Yuan's elemental magnetism pressure. Now, daring to confront him, he believed he could handle it. After transforming with blood origin transformation, the body became a blood-water energy body, significantly reducing its weight and preventing organ compression from impacting its function. With his strong bronze high-stage star power, the sinister youth could relatively easily resist the elemental magnetism pressure. The sinister youth smiled, about to speak again, but saw Su Yuan raise his hand once more. You think you can really withstand it? Previously, Su Yuan hadn't exerted full force, only using great success power's elemental magnetism pressure to conserve star power and kill star beasts. Now, with a cold glint in his eyes and gray light flashing intensely in his hands, he unleashed the full power of transformation realm magnetic pressure. The space visibly distorted for a moment, and the sinister youth's face changed dramatically. With a bang, he was forced to kneel by the suddenly intensified pressure. How could this be? I should have resisted. Damn it! Pouring forth all his star power, the sinister youth's body was engulfed in bloodlight, and he slowly stood up again, seemingly about to break free from the elemental magnetism pressure. Such strength was indeed impressive, but at that moment, silver light flashed before the youth as Su Yuan instantly teleported, dragon armor saber emitting a terrifying black glow. Time to send you off. The youth's face changed, but before he could react, Su Yuan had already slashed with his saber. The dragon armor saber cut through his body, splitting him in half. Yet in an instant, the flowing blood water emerged. A self-repairing blood water body. Su Yuan's expression remained calm. Let's see how long you can keep repairing. Before the terrified eyes of the youth, Su Yuan's dragon armor saber, imbued with Space Cut's black glow, began a frenzied assault. 1 slash, 2 slashes, 3 slashes. In just a few seconds, Su Yuan had struck nearly 20 times, making the initially dark red blood water turn extremely transparent. Simple brutality. The sinister youth's blood power was exhausted rapidly, his repair speed quickly falling behind. At this rate, he wouldn't escape the pressure before being killed. Damn it! The youth's fear turned into venomous hatred as he glared at Su Yuan. You forced me. If it's like this, we'll die together. As he spoke, the youth's blood power surged wildly, and his blood-water body twisted and shrank. Self-destruction. Su Yuan's face changed slightly. Then he instantly teleported away with a flash of silver light. Boom! Stay updated with Novel Bin Com. The sinister youth's blood-water body exploded violently. Aside from the intense explosion, countless blood arrows shot in all directions indiscriminately. Su Yuan stomped, wind swirling around him, deflecting the blood arrows rushing toward him. But among them, one blood arrow subtly altered its course, entering the stone corridor and quickly disappearing. Su Yuan narrowed his eyes, pretending to self-destruct to force me back, only to escape with a secret technique. The blood arrow vanished quickly, alongside the lingering explosion aftermath, making pursuit difficult. Evil card masters have so many tricks, but you escaped once, you won't escape again. Su Yuan glanced around. Pray we don't meet again, or I will kill you. Su Yuan sheathed his dragon armor saber, picked up the sinister youth's fallen blood-beast stinger sword, and stored it in his space ring. I need to recover. Su Yuan considered his star power situation. Having cleared the cave earlier, his spiritual power was already low, and now, after using both elemental magnetism pressure and space cut, his star power was nearly depleted. The noise from the sinister youth's self-destruction had drawn some scattered, undead star beasts nearer. Su Yuan glanced deeper into the secret realm, then quickly left the scene. The sinister youth's original body, transformed into a blood arrow, continued to shoot out from the bluestone passage until it reached the original cave. Amidst the surging blood water, a human form reappeared. However, at this moment, the sinister youth's face was pale, his breath weak, and his expression extremely grim, starkly different from his previous composed and easy demeanor. Damn it, damn it, damn it! The sinister youth looked back to confirm that Su Yuan hadn't followed. Only then did he curse out loud, uncontrollably. Not only did I fail to recover the blood bees, but I also blew up all the blood essence accumulated over the past year. That was my preparation for breaking through to the silver stage. The youth was filled with resentment. After accumulating blood essence for over a year, once engaged in slaughter and harvesting in the cave, it was likely that after leaving, he could break through to silver. As a result, everything was ruined due to self-detonation. How could that bronze early stage be so strong? If I had known, I would have retreated from the Great Flame country directly. In reality, the sinister youth was named Do Xiao. He, along with the burly youth Tu Yuan and the schoolgirl Mo11, were members of the notorious evil Card Master organization, the Black Demon Association, located in the northwest direction of the Great Flame country. This time, the three came to the Great Flame country for another task. The task had been successfully completed, and Do Xiao's trio was about to return, intending not to stir up more trouble. But on their way back, they encountered the eruption of Flame Mountain. Such opportunities were rare, and the trio immediately decided to make a significant gain before leaving. The three of them were young and elite bronze, high-stage members of the Black Demon Association, with strong and cunning means. As long as they didn't court death, breaking into a bronze-level secret realm wouldn't be difficult. However, what Do Xiao never expected was that he suffered a setback, and it happened at the hands of a bronze early-stage student. No, I'm too weak now. I must find Mo11 and Tu Yuan first. Otherwise, I might be killed by something in this cave. Do Xiao flipped his hand to take out a bronze disc. He sealed it with both hands, revealing 3 blood essence with different auras on the disc, which slowly moved. Mo11 is closer. The youth's eyes narrowed, and he turned into a dim blood shadow, rushing into the distance. A long time later, under a dilapidated altar on the edge of the fortress, Su Yuan slowly opened his eyes. Finally, recovered almost completely. Su Yuan stood up, stretching slightly. Although that person escaped, the self-detonation's aftermath shouldn't be small. It won't be possible for him to recover in a few days, and he won't dare to follow. I just don't know how Zhuang Sun and Fong Kuan are faring. Su Yuan shook his head. It would be best if he could meet them. If not, there was nothing he could do. If he could clear this secret realm sooner, he might be able to close it in advance. Su Yuan looked towards the white bone hall in the distance, but did not rush over. Instead, he turned and walked up the steps next to the altar. While resting here, he had felt a faint energy fluctuation from the altar. Now that he was fully recovered, it was perfect to check it out. As Su Yuan walked step by step to the center of the altar, a gust of green, ghostly wind suddenly blew. Numerous runes on the altar's ground lit up. Then, accompanied by a strong fluctuation of star power, a 2-meter-long steel bone wolf, shrouded in black, ghostly flames, was summoned from the altar. Upon seeing this wolf-type undead creature summoned by the altar, Su Yuan was slightly stunned, then showed a slightly strange expression. Netherfire, skeletons, wolf? Weren't these the 3 keywords? So this is the Netherfire's steel bone wolf. Su Yuan scrutinized this bone wolf. Its characteristics were too obvious. It might as well say, I'm the Netherfire's steel bone wolf. The bronze middle stage Netherfire Steelbone Wolf attacked Su Yuan as soon as it appeared. It opened its maw wide, gathering a large amount of black netherfire in its mouth, and after a brief charge, spat out a head-sized black flame fireball at Su Yuan. It was indeed the netherfire cannon. However, such a move could hardly hit Su Yuan unless it was point-blank. Su Yuan executed wind walking, easily dodging the black flame cannon with a slight sway of his body. Boom! The pitch-black flames exploded behind him. Su Yuan turned to look, seeing a 3-meter diameter pit blasted on the altar. The netherfire continued to erode the surroundings, slowly expanding the pit's size. The speed is a bit slow, but the power is decent. Under the influence of its talent, it has spreading and eroding properties, barely a T2 technique. As Su Yuan contemplated, the Netherfire Steelbone Wolf's ghostly flames intensified. Its entire body shot out like a black phantom, reaching Su Yuan in a blink, with its steel claws highly compressed with black flames, swiping down. Su Yuan blocked with his blade, but was pushed back 2 steps. Swift Shadow Charge plus Netherfire Steel Claws. Using the charge to increase impact and strength, combined with the high-damage Netherfire Steel Claws. If it hits the body, it could severely injure or even kill a star beast of the same rank. Su Yuan nodded secretly. Compared to the Netherfire Cannon, obviously, this close combat move was what this strength dash, agility dash, and defense-oriented Bone Wolf excelled at. The intensity was quite good. Seeing the Netherfire Wolf charging over again, Su Yuan casually dealt with it while calling out the system. System, Enhance Nether Wolf Summon. To Transformation Realm. Within his star power vortex, the green Nether Wolf Summon flickered 31 times in a short moment. Simultaneously, a vast amount of comprehension about Nether Wolf Summon surged into Su Yuan's mind. Su Yuan pushed away the Netherfire Steelbone Wolf before him, retreated a few steps, and sealed with one hand. Come on, let me see what kind of effect it will have when enhanced to Transformation Realm. Su Yuan suddenly pointed in front of him. Nether Wolf Summon. With a slightly spiritual and star power consumption, the space before him twisted and transformed. A gate of hell, exuding chaotic and violent aura, swiftly opened in front of Su Yuan. Then, 4 Netherfire Steelbone Wolves, engulfed in ghostly flames and a size larger than the one facing Su Yuan, leaped out of the gate. 4 bronze high-stage Netherfire Steelbone Wolves can actually be summoned. Su Yuan was slightly shocked. Aside from master-quality star beasts, bronze high-stage Netherfire Steelbone Wolves were incredibly powerful attack-type star beasts within the bronze level, and he could summon 4 at once. It's worth noting that the 5th wave of the Soul Comforting Mysterious Burial Tablet Challenge only had 2 bronze middle-stage elite star beasts, and the 6th wave of bronze middle-stage master star beasts, like the golden-eyed silver-winged tiger Su Yuan encountered, might not be a match for the 4 bronze high-stage Netherfire Steelbone Wolves. In other words, just by relying on the Transformation Realm, Nether Wolf Summon skill, Su Yuan could almost pass the Demon Capital Academy Soul Comforting Mysterious Burial Tablets assessment. Of course, if Su Yuan were only Star Apprentice 9th rank, he might not be able to summon 4 bronze, high-stage Netherfire Steelbone Wolves. Summoning 1 would be good enough. Compared to ordinary Star Card Masters, summoners heavily relied on Great Realm. Discover stories with Novel Bandcom. The 4 Netherfire Wolves summoned by Su Yuan all had a death spirit marked the size of an egg on their foreheads. As they landed, they roared at the charging Altar Netherfire Wolf. Ow! The Altar Netherfire Wolf immediately halted its charge. Its already shallow intelligence seemed even more insufficient at this moment, dazed in place. Su Yuan ordered go, finish it. The 4 summoned Netherfire Wolves obediently attacked together. A few seconds later, they dismantled the Altar Netherfire Wolf's bones completely. After completing this task, the 4 summoned Netherfire Steelbone Wolves returned to Su Yuan quietly, with one even retrieving the star core of the fallen Altar Netherfire Wolf for Su Yuan. Truly impressive. Su Yuan smiled, extremely satisfied with the Transformation Realm Nether Wolf Summon effect. With these bronze high-stage Netherfire Steelbone Wolves, I can now play a support role in many battles. Su Yuan checked and found that the casting interval for the Transformation Realm Netherwolf summon was 6 hours, while the duration was 4 hours. If summoned earlier, the interval would reduce based on the number of summoned Netherwolves and remaining time. Overall, it could cover most combat durations. At this time, with the death of the Altar Netherfire Wolf, the altar began to react again. Some death energy gathered and entered the altar. A stone platform slowly rose from the ground, and on it lay a plant imbued with rich death energy. Soul-nourishing grass? Su Yuan recognized the plant at a glance. Level 1 spiritual plant, soul-nourishing grass, had a slight effect of replenishing spiritual power. It was a relatively common grassy plant for magicians who often consumed spiritual power. Although fully exerting Netherwolf soul summoning consumed some spiritual power, it was not enough for Su Yuan to waste a spiritual plant to refill. He casually put away the soul-nourishing grass. Looking at the 4 undead creatures composed of bones and netherfire, Su Yuan dismissed the idea of using them as mounts. The thought of the running sensation with them was not pleasant, but while summoning consumes both spiritual power and star power, the overall consumption is reduced significantly. This way, my sea-level spiritual talent can be more useful. Su Yuan suddenly realized that summoning cards suited him well. Summoning card effects mainly depended on the card master's great realm, skill level, and spiritual strength. Unlike general skills like Gray Flame Strike that were based on self-exertion, the summoning card skill level significantly impacted the summoning strength, of course, except for T0 divine skills like Elemental Magnetism Pressure. For instance, now, his Bronze early stage could summon 4 Bronze high stage Elite Star Beasts. And with the system, he could easily enhance the summoning card skill level, thereby summoning powerful creatures. Collecting his thoughts, Su Yuan looked around. Since activating this altar and dealing with the summon resulted in obtaining a spiritual plant, there might be various stuff in other altars or halls as well. After a brief thought, Su Yuan took the 4 Netherfire Steelbone Wolves with him, exploring the buildings along the way while heading towards the White Bone Hall in the fortress's depths. Before 3 days passed in the blink of an eye. Deep in the fortress, not far from the massive White Bone Hall, a 6-member team from Shuzhou College was engaged in battle with over a dozen Netherworld guards, Netherworld mages, and other undead star beasts. The team's strength was impressive. 2 were at the Bronze high stage, 1 at the Bronze middle stage, and 3 at the Bronze early stage. Among the 3 at the Bronze early stage, 1 had bushy eyebrows, large eyes, and a burly physique, wielding a large sword with great vigor. Who else could it be but Fong Kuan, who had been separated from Su Yuan and Zhuang Sun? Compared to the outside, all the star beasts in the undead fortress were at the Bronze level, with nearly a third being elite star beasts. At this moment, Fong Kuan's team was facing twice their number of undead creatures, yet maintained a slight upper hand and was steadily expanding their advantage. Besides their impressive strength, there was another reason. The team had a wood-type assistive magic technique performed by a tall, beautiful girl wielding an elfwood staff among the Bronze early stage members. The girl swung her elfwood staff, casting Natural Guardian, Living Tree Armor, Entangled Vines, and other skills at opportune moments, providing healing, shields, and control, significantly boosting the combat abilities of Fong Kuan and the others. The leader of the group, Zhou Fenghua, a freshman from Qing Province, dealt with several Netherworld guards in front of him while shouting, "Don't advance rashly. Maintain formation and push forward slowly. Also, don't let these undead creatures break through to the back." Sensing their dire situation, the undead creatures suddenly erupted. The Netherworld guards' powerful slashes and the Netherworld mages' Netherworld blasts occurred one after another. Fong Kuan and others at the front line immediately felt the increased pressure, their formation almost falling apart. Zhou Fenghua shouted loudly. "They're making their final struggle. Hold on." Fong Kuan and the others understood this, summoning their strength. At this moment, a netherworld assassin shrouded in shadows, seizing the powerful offensive from the netherworld guards and mages, suddenly transformed into black smoke, bypassing Zhou Fenghua and rushing towards the assistive girl at the rear. Not good. His target is Little Yu. Little Yu, be careful. Yu Changle, block it quickly. The fighters at the front were alarmed and wanted to help. However, the numerous netherworld guards pressed in immediately, making it impossible to break away. By AI Xiaoyu's side at this time, only Yu Changle, a prospective freshman tasked with protecting her, was left. The black smoke transformed by the netherworld assassin quickly reformed behind the frontline fighters, wielding a short blade towards the assistive AI Xiaoyu. Little Yu, get back. Yu Changle gritted his teeth and quickly stepped in front of AI Xiaoyu, wielding his sword with full star power against the netherworld assassin. With crossed swords, Yu Changle blocked the attack of the bronze middle stage elite netherworld assassin. But before Yu Changle could catch his breath, the assassin's vague, human-like face under the black smoke twisted into a sinister smile. With a shake of both shoulders, two dark clones veered off towards AI Xiaoyu from both sides. Green skill, shadow splitting slash. Not good. Yu Changle was startled, quickly turning the netherworld assassin before him into black smoke with a forceful strike. But it was too late to pursue the two elusive clones. AI Xiaoyu, seeing the two clones approaching, remained calm despite her fear and waved her elfwood staff to cast a defensive skill. Elf Shield. Rich wood elements surged from the elfwood staff, quickly forming a light green energy shield around AI Xiaoyu. The two clones simultaneously struck the elf shield with black daggers, the right one dissipating immediately, while the left one revealed the true netherworld assassin. Nether fire blazed on the dagger, swiftly corroding the wood element shield, ready to break through in an instant. AI Xiaoyu's face turned pale. She immediately started channeling a new control skill. But it was too late. The elf shield shattered with a bang. The netherworld assassin let out an eerie laugh, bursting through the elf shield and thrusting towards AI Xiaoyu. Seeing the dagger tip mere inches from AI Xiaoyu, a silver flash appeared beside her, blocking the dagger and knocking the assassin away with a counter. Discover stories with Novel.com. Turning, AI Xiaoyu saw a calm young man with silver eyes beside her. Thank you. AI Xiaoyu, pale and with a heaving chest, thanked him, still shaken. Su Yuan nodded silently. AI Xiaoyu was about to ask his name when she saw Su Yuan walking towards the netherworld assassin. The assassin, after being stabilized, seeing Su Yuan had blocked the surprise attack, became furious. With a strange cry, the assassin charged Su Yuan again. Just then, a large bone wolf engulfed in black flame pounced from behind, pinning the assassin to the ground. The assassin, taken aback, began struggling with star power, only to see the fiery heads of three more bone wolves closing in. For Netherfire steel bone wolves' eyes glowed with netherfire, staring down at the assassin, causing sheer terror. The scream stopped abruptly. Within seconds, the assassin was torn apart by the four netherfire steel bone wolves. AI Xiaoyu, seeing Su Yuan not only rescuing her, but summoning creatures to easily dispatch the powerful assassin, was astonished. Su Yuan, this sudden change caught everyone's attention. Fang Kun, from a distance, recognized Su Yuan and showed a rare expression of delight. It's really you. I'm glad you're okay. Leading the group, Zhou Fenghua asked, Fang Kun, you know him? Fang Kun nodded. Yeah, we came together. Like Su Yuan and Zhuang Sun, Fang Kun had been worried about their safety due to the perilous molten lava cave. Though he had initially fallen into a ghoul's nest, his luck led him to encounter AI Xiaoyu, Zhou Fenghua, and other Shuzhou College students, forming a team. Besides Fang Kun, Yu Changle, and AI Xiaoyu, Zhou Fenghua and the two others were experienced freshmen with substantial strength. As a result, under Zhou Fenghua's leadership, the team had cautiously navigated the fortress, collecting valuable resources without significant incident. What about Su Yuan? AI Xiaoyu watched Su Yuan, who was retrieving a star core from the assassin's dismembered body. Su Yuan nodded to Fang Kun, raised his hand, ordering the Netherfire Steelbone Wolves, which opened their mouths and charged Netherfire cannons at the undead creatures in the distance. Boom, 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 boom. The black flame erupted almost simultaneously, with the raging Netherfire annihilating 2 Netherworld guards on the spot and severely injuring 4 others nearby. So strong. Zhou Fenghua, Fang Kun, and others were startled by the Netherfire cannons exploding among the undead creatures. Sensing the powerful star power fluctuations, Zhou Fenghua and the others realized Su Yuan's 4 black firebone wolves were at the bronze high stage. After firing, the Netherfire Steelbone Wolves charged fearlessly into the undead star beasts like black shadows, their steel defenses and powerful Netherfire steel claws wreaking havoc and breaking the enemy's formations. Well done, Zhou Fenghua shouted, his eyes brightening. With the situation reversed, everyone felt relieved. Damn, I've been cut. Little you, heal me quickly. I can't hold on. A pained cry came from the front. Huh. AI Xiaoyu gasped, quickly refocusing and waved her elfwood staff, casting a healing technique forward, Wood Elf's blessing. After a while, the battle gradually ended. The addition of the 4 Netherfire Steelbone Wolves directly broke the previously balanced battle situation. With the Netherfire Steelbone Wolves fearlessly charging ahead and disrupting the formation, Zhou Fenghua and the others only needed to fight steadily, and the battle had no suspense. However, even with the strong defense of the Netherfire Steelbone Wolves, in such a fierce charge, 1 was killed and 1 was severely injured. The remaining 2 also suffered significant depletion. After bringing the obtained star cores to Su Yuan, they were recalled to Hell to reduce the casting interval. Fang Kun took a few deep breaths before walking over to stand next to Su Yuan. That's great, Su Yuan. I was worried something happened to you. I didn't expect to meet you here. Su Yuan smiled. Me too. Zhou Fenghua and the others also walked over, all looking at the young man who could summon 4 bronze high-stage elite bone wolves with amazement. Fang Kun, aren't you going to introduce your friend to us? Zhou Fenghua said with a smile. Fang Kun nodded and began to introduce him to everyone. This is Su Yuan, a student from Guangchuan City, which is under Shuzhou. We originally entered the secret realm of the molten lava cave together this time. He then turned to Su Yuan. Su Yuan, these are all seniors or classmates from Shuzhou College. If I hadn't met senior Zhou Fenghua and joined their team on the way, I might not have even been able to enter the fortress, let alone get here. Guangchuan City, Pan Long, standing beside Zhou Fenghua, looked at Su Yuan with a mix of surprise and uncertainty. Could it be you're the special recruit from Demon Capital? Special recruit from Demon Capital? Others were also slightly surprised upon hearing this. Zhou Fenghua asked, Old Pan, you know him too? I don't know him, but have heard about him. I heard that a 3rd-level city under Shuzhou had a special recruit for the 3 Cities program recently, and today we are fortunate to see him in person. I didn't expect he would be a rare summoner. He hasn't even entered the college yet, and can already summon 4 bronze high-stage elite star beasts. It's quite staggering. No wonder he passed the special recruitment exam of the Demon Capital Academy. When Fang Kun heard the words summoner, his expression turned a bit strange, but he didn't say much. However, Fang Kun was quite surprised that Su Yuan could suddenly summon 4 Netherfire Steelbone Wolves. This guy was the warrior who killed an Earth Element beast with a hand chop when he was at the Star Apprentice 8th stage. How did he suddenly become such a powerful summoner? Moreover, wasn't his growth speed terrifying? It's been less than half a year since the joint trial. He was barely able to handle bronze early-stage Earth Element beasts, and now he could casually summon 4 bronze high-stage Elite Star beasts? Although every Star Card Master's strength greatly increased after ascending to bronze level, they were just climbing a new peak. This guy directly soared to the sky. Fang Kun couldn't help but feel a bit frustrated. Once they were all top geniuses at the Star Apprentice level. Although there were differences, the gap wasn't too wide, and at least they could match each other. Now, having just stepped into the bronze level, the gap between them had become an insurmountable chasm. Comparing oneself to others can only invite anger. At this time, the others had also gained some understanding of Su Yuan after hearing Fang Kuan and Panlong's conversation. Zhou Fenghua said, "Student Su, we really owe you this time. Not only did you save little you, but you also helped us deal with these undead creatures." AI Xiaoyu clutched her elfwood staff tightly and hurriedly bowed to Su Yuan upon hearing this, thanking him politely. Su Yuan waved his hand with a smile. "No need to be so polite. With Fang Kuan and the team, I couldn't sit by idly. Besides, I also took the star cores of the star beasts I killed, so it's a win-win." Zhou Fenghua nodded and, after chatting a bit more, led the team to collect the star cores and process some corpse materials. AI Xiaoyu gave Su Yuan a glance, hesitated slightly, and then also went to help. Fang Kuan took the opportunity to lead Su Yuan a bit off to the side. "Su Yuan, do you have any news about Zhuang's son?" "No, I haven't run into him." Fang Kuan frowned slightly, a bit worried. Could something have happened to him? "Speaking of which," Su Yuan said solemnly, "remember the 3 young men and women we met in the hotel lobby the day we set off? Those 3 people." "Yes, I remember. It had only been a few days, and Do Xiao and his companions had certain star power fluctuations back then, so Fang Kuan remembered them after a brief thought. "What about those 3? Those 3 should all be evil card masters." "What?" Fang Kuan couldn't help but exclaim, his expression darkening. "They're evil card masters?" The threat posed by evil card masters needed no explanation. Even in a secret realm, where life and death were matters of destiny, people from the Great Flame Country typically wouldn't kill unless there was a deep-seated grudge. But evil card masters were different. They regarded others' lives as worthless. Even if it didn't benefit them, they would kill without hesitation. They were extremely dangerous. Experience new stories on Novel.com. Su Yuan nodded. "I was attacked by one of them, a thin youth with a ruddy complexion." Fang Kuan quickly asked, "Are you okay?" "Nothing serious. I critically wounded him, but his magic was sinister. He escaped in the end." Su Yuan's voice deepened. "However, he killed someone else, and according to him, the manner of death was quite cruel." Fang Kuan snorted coldly. "These damn evil car masters." Su Yuan cautioned, "Later, you should relay this information to your team. Those 3 are likely all at Bronze High Stage and are ruthless and cunning. Be very careful." "Okay, I understand." Fang Kuan looked at Su Yuan and asked, "What about you? What are you planning to do?" Su Yuan looked ahead at the immense white bone hall not too far away and smiled. "I'm planning to check out that hall. Our team is also heading to that white bone hall. Why don't you consider joining our team? Or I can go with you alone." Su Yuan shook his head. "You guys are from Shuzhou College, so I won't interfere. You don't need to come with me either. It's more suitable for you to stay here. This team has complementary tactics and can progress steadily and surely, which should yield significant rewards. Besides, I have instant movement. It's very convenient for solo actions. If I encounter any danger, I can escape." Fang Kuan pondered for a while and sighed. "You're right. Your current strength far exceeds ours. Following you wouldn't be of much help to you anyway." Su Yuan nodded. "Then I'll be on my way." "All right. Take care of yourself." Su Yuan responded and dashed towards the front alone. Fang Kuan, did Student Su go alone? Zhou Fenghua and the others had almost finished packing. Seeing Su Yuan leave alone in such a short time, they hurried over to ask. "Yes, he left first." Zhou Fenghua shook his head and sighed. "What a pity. I originally wanted to invite him to join us. With his summoning technique, our team's strength would significantly increase." Fang Kuan didn't say much more. Remembering Su Yuan's information about the evil car masters, he quickly related to Zhou Fenghua and the others. Su Yuan advanced at high speed, casually cutting down the star beasts along the way. Before long, he arrived in front of the White Bone Hall. This was a vast hall, built with a structure that widened at the base and narrowed higher up. It looked more like a broad-based bone tower rather than a hall. The ground floor of the hall had numerous small, sieve-like entrances. Above each entrance was a faint energy curtain, obscuring the view inside. Su Yuan took out the dragon armor saber and tightly gripped it. After carefully observing for a moment, he decisively stepped inside. The scene suddenly brightened. Su Yuan's eyes widened in surprise. A maze, huh? Su Yuan examined his surroundings. The interior of the White Bone Hall was indeed like a maze. In front of him were crisscrossing corridors. The walls, emitting a faint white glow, soared up to a ceiling over a dozen meters high. Even if Su Yuan flew, he couldn't see the whole structure. Unlike the dark, cold, and dilapidated exterior, the inside was bright, intricately designed, and exuded a touch of noble mystery. However, the obstructed view due to the maze walls, combined with the monotonous color palette, could easily make anyone feel suffocated and mentally exhausted over time. Su Yuan raised his hand, and teal flames surged in his palm. Gray flame strike quickly charged up and was released toward the wall in front of him. Boom! With a loud explosion, the gray flame strike burst out. As the flames gradually subsided, a faint blue glow lingered on the wall where the gray flame strike had hit. Numerous runes appeared and disappeared until they eventually vanished, restoring peace. The wall has a barrier. As expected, given the maze design, it's unlikely to let intruders take shortcuts. Su Yuan's eyes gleamed with silver light as he tried to use instant movement to penetrate the wall. Unfortunately, the barrier on the wall also blocked traversal-type skills. In that case, I'll have to break through by force. Su Yuan mused. If I remember correctly, there should be 3 layers outside. Experience more on novel.com. When he first entered, Su Yuan deliberately observed the structure of the White Bone Hall. If there was no space-folding magic technique, it was likely a 3-layered hall. The current bottom layer was the largest, and each layer above got smaller. Thus, the top layer of the White Bone Hall was both the core of the hall and the centerpiece of the entire undead fortress and the Molten Cave secret realm. On the way to the White Bone Hall, Su Yuan had already accumulated many good items, including first and second stage spirit plants, ores, materials, as well as white and green star cards, and even a green star artifact. It was already quite a substantial harvest. Let's see what kinds of treasures the top layer of this White Bone Hall holds. Su Yuan's figure flickered as he dashed into a corridor. After a few turns, he disappeared. Sometime later, in a certain part of the first layer of the White Bone Hall maze. Golden Burning Hand. Su Yuan's left hand interwove with golden fire, piercing through the chest of a death spirit mage who had its ghost shield activated, forcefully extracting a dark green star core. With a silent scream and a twisted face, the death spirit mage burst into a cloud of blue smoke and dissipated. Casually storing the star core, Su Yuan looked at the dead end in front of him, furrowing his brows slightly. Another wrong turn. I wonder when I'll find the entrance to the next layer. More than half a day had passed since he entered the White Bone Hall. To quickly find the entrance to the next layer, Su Yuan had even summoned the Netherfire Steelbone Wolf to help search. Yet, even after the duration of the Netherfire Steelbone Wolf expired, he found nothing. On the way here, besides encountering a large number of undead creatures and occasionally a human team or two, he hadn't found an exit at all. At this moment, sudden energy fluctuations appeared from the place where the undead mage had exploded in front of him. Su Yuan's eyes narrowed as he stared ahead. He saw a large mass of dark green death energy gathering, constantly changing and twisting, eventually forming an energy beam reaching up to the ceiling. The spot on the ceiling, illuminated by the energy beam, slowly revealed an opening large enough for one person to pass through. So, the key to the next layer is some of these undead creatures wandering in the maze. Su Yuan suddenly understood. No wonder he hadn't found the entrance. There was still this trick. To quickly find the entrance to the next layer, Su Yuan just casually killed all the star beasts along the way, while the 4 Netherfire Steelbone Wolves he had sent out directly avoided the undead creatures they encountered. At this moment, Su Yuan stepped forward a few steps, entering the death energy beam. The dense death energy lifted his body, and he slowly ascended like taking an elevator to the second floor. Upon entering the second layer, it was also a maze. However, it was much smaller compared to the first layer. As soon as Su Yuan came up, there were 3 huge humanoid star beasts not far ahead. Su Yuan examined the 3 star beasts. Although very tall, their bodies were extremely thin, with heads like goats, emanating a strong fluctuation of star power and an aura of chaotic brutality. Demon race? Su Yuan's eyes narrowed. Among the various species, some powerful ones were inherently superior, not only generally of high grade, but also stronger than other star beasts of the same grade. Dragons, phoenixes, demons, all belonged to such species. The bodies of the demon race were extremely terrifying, with strength, agility, and constitution all being top-notch, making their close combat capabilities astonishing. At this moment, the 3 goat-headed demons also noticed Su Yuan, who had suddenly appeared behind them, turning around in unison. A hint of ferocity flashed in their furious eyes as the 3 demons spread their arms and charged rapidly towards Su Yuan. Su Yuan neither retreated nor dodged. He shook his long saber, and a deep black light immediately flowed and surged on the blade. As the 3 demons approached, Su Yuan swung his saber horizontally. Instantly, a pitch-black boundary-breaking line slashed across the 3 demons' bodies from left to right. Demons are indeed strong, but if they're not of the silver stage, they're just sturdier pigs and sheep. Su Yuan slowly sheathed the dragon armor saber. In the next moment, accompanied by extremely sharp screams, a large splash of blood erupted from the waists of the 3 goat-headed demons. They were all cut in half at the waist. The screams abruptly stopped. The 3 demon corpses fell heavily to the ground, with a large amount of internal organs and blood soaking the ground. Su Yuan stepped forward a few steps, stepping on the spreading blood, and removed the green star cores from the 3 bodies one by one. Since the method to reach the next layer involves killing certain undead creatures, then I'll kill all the undead creatures I see. Regardless of what differences there might be in those key undead creatures, killing them all would surely leave nothing out. Besides, for him, it wouldn't take much effort anyway. Silver light flashed in Su Yuan's eyes. He instantly teleported several dozen meters away, using wind walking and instant movement in tandem, and began a wild massacre in the second-floor maze. Outside the Whitebone Hall, numerous necromantic energies converged. Then, a young man with red hair and red eyes was transported out, holding a star card emitting a radiant blue light. Hellfire? Getting this card was worth rushing over from South Pole City so quickly. Gung Chui looked at the blue star card in his hand, his face full of joy. Passing the 3rd trial of the Whitebone Hall, he finally got this blue-grade fire element star card, very suitable for himself. Let's use this Hellfire as my sole skill after breaking through to the silver stage. Gung Chui nodded in satisfaction, waved his hand to store the card into his ring, and planned to search the secret realm one last time before leaving. But before he could take 2 steps, he suddenly heard a sharp whistling sound above his head. Gung Chui looked up and saw a black figure plummeting from the sky like a cannonball. Damn! Gung Chui's expression changed drastically. His star power surged, and he suddenly leaped to the side. Bang! A loud crash followed. Smoke and dust rose violently, and large amounts of white air currents roiled and spread around like waves. In no time, a rather disheveled red figure was blasted out. Gung Chui rolled on the ground for 2 whole circles before stabilizing and standing up again. Damn it! Gung Chui's face was extremely grim, blood trickling from the corner of his mouth, and his clothes were shredded by the powerful impact just now. Wiping the blood from the corner of his mouth, Gung Chui squinted his eyes and looked ahead. The smoke and dust gradually dissipated, revealing a huge crater several meters in diameter. A sturdy, grim-looking young man in black slowly walked out, white vapors swirling around his arms. This! Tu Yuan slowly exhaled a white vapor. The vapor shot out like an arrow, hitting the ground and creating another small pit. Did you ambush me? Gung Xiui frowned and said in a deep voice, Who are you? Tu Yuan's expression remained calm. Who I am is not important. Hand over the reward you got from the third layer of the White Bone Hall. So you want to rob me? Gung Xiui sized up Tu Yuan and suddenly realized, I understand now. You must be the one who took the first reward, right? Gung Xiui's mouth curled into a sneer as he took a step forward. Scorching orange-red flames surged out from his body. Since you're out to rob someone, you're obviously no good. I won't feel guilty taking your stuff either. The ring on Tu Yuan's hand flashed, and a blue star card appeared in his hand. If you have the skill, come and get it. Tu Yuan's voice was cold and indifferent, showing no concern that this top talent from South Pole Academy could take the blue card from his hands. Pretentious. Gung Xiui sneered and was about to make a move, but just then he seemed to sense something and turned his head to look behind him. So you have helpers. No wonder you're so confident. Gung Xiui's expression darkened slightly. Two more figures slowly surrounded him from behind. One was a lively girl in a school uniform. The other was a young man with a delicate face and a rosy complexion. It was Mo Wenwen and Do Xiao. With Mo Wenwen's help, Do Xiao had devoured a lot of essence blood over the past few days. Although breaking through to the silver stage was still out of reach due to the massive loss of accumulated essence blood, his strength had mostly recovered thanks to the blood secret technique. This was the power of blood. As long as there was enough essence blood, any serious injury could be healed. Mo Wenwen waved her hand, and a huge, ugly ghost face with 3 eyes appeared behind her amidst swirling black smoke. The ghost face opened its mouth, and one by one, young men and women with vacant expressions staggered out. This scene was quite eerie. Seeing the 3 familiar faces among the group, Gung Xiui's expression changed. Stand tall, Dong Liaoping. Hee, it seems you have acquaintances here. Mo Wenwen chuckled, gesturing for the 3 to come forward. These 3, huh? They were indeed tough. I had to sacrifice 7 insect servants to catch them. My black soul goo is almost running out. What did you do to them? Nothing much, just controlling them temporarily. Of course, if I took the time to eat their brains, that would be interesting too, but not very much fun. Gung Xiui lowered his head slightly, his fists clenched so tightly that his fingernails almost dug into his flesh, trying hard to suppress his anger. Anger could make a person irrational and interfere with judgment in battle. Tu Yuan glanced at Gung Xiui and said flatly, Put down the star card in your hand, and we'll let you go. Just let him go like that. Do Xiao raised an eyebrow. No, his essence blood is very dense. I need. Before Do Xiao could finish, he felt a chill on his back. Turning his head, he saw Tu Yuan staring at him expressionlessly. Do Xiao shrugged. The 3 of them ganging up on one couldn't handle it. Even if it was a silver stage opponent, they had killed nearly 20 silver stage foes together. Was there need to be so afraid? But Do Xiao ultimately didn't say anything more. Although the 3 had no hierarchical differences, Tu Yuan usually made the decisions when they acted together. Tu Yuan knew that anyone who could pass the 3rd layer of the White Bone Hall wasn't ordinary. The difficulty was such that even he almost failed. So if they could intimidate the person in front of them to give up the blue card and leave, that would be the best outcome. Do you really think you have me cornered? Gung Xiui slowly raised his head, and fiery lights flickered in his eyes. Suddenly, a flame dragon illusion flew out from his body, coiling around him. Layer upon layer of fierce flame spread out like a sea of fire. Gung Xiui bathed in this sea of fire. His aura surged. Come! Gung Xiui's gaze swept across Tu Yuan and the other 2. All 3 of you, come at me together. Su Yuan's vision blurred, and he was now in the 3rd layer of the White Bone Hall. After slaughtering intensely for only 2 hours and killing a Black Wings demon, Su Yuan successfully reached this 3rd layer. This 3rd layer was no longer a maze, but a dark, cold graveyard filled with necromantic elements. The graveyard was filled with many decayed tombstones. In the center were 3 large red tombstones, 2 people tall. 2 of the 3 red tombstones were already covered in cracks, leaving only the last one relatively intact. Su Yuan stepped forward to examine it. There were some scribbled writings on the tombstone. Unlike the runes seen outside, these writings were in the Blue Sea Star General language. Reading carefully, Su Yuan learned about the origin of the White Bone Hall. This White Bone Hall was named the Bone Maze. Its owner was Saki, a magician from the western continent of Blue Sea Star. Later, Saki was severely injured and could only use a secret technique to transform into an undead. At first, Saki could still travel between the western continent and Hell with his half-undead body and some secret techniques. But eventually, he fell into Hell completely, unable to return to Blue Sea Star. Years later, gravely injured again and nearing death, Saki left part of his inheritance, which became the White Bone Hall. Since Saki excelled in necromancy and fire magic, his inheritance was primarily focused on these two areas. Every tombstone in a graveyard corresponded to an undead creature from Hell. Defeating them would grant at least an elite grade item. The central 3 red tombstones contained 3 master grade blue treasures. These were a high damage fire element star card, a rare summon card from the 6th layer of Hell, and a summoning star device from Hell. Su Yuan analyzed the last tombstone. So this tombstone corresponds to a summoning star device? No wonder the first 2 picked the fire element star card and the rare summon card from the 6th layer of Hell. It's not that the summoning star device wasn't strong, but summoners were rare to start with. Saki's device from Hell likely specialized in necromancy. If not used personally, such an item would be difficult to sell unless to a specific summoner. In short, this item wouldn't immediately enhance one's strength or wealth, making it somewhat of a scrap. The other 2 master-grade treasures, the top-tier Fire Element Star card, required no explanation. Fire Element was the most populated branch among Elemental Star card masters. High-quality Fire Element Star cards were in high demand. As for the rare summon card from the 6th layer of Hell, for non-summoners, it was practical to embed 1 or 2 summon cards due to skill slots. These summon cards didn't need to form a system. Practicality was the key. The 6th layer of Hell and beyond was also known as the Abyss, where demons roamed. This master-grade rare summon card could likely summon a master demon. The value of a master demon was simply its sheer strength. Others have taken the 2 master-grade items. There's no other choice. I can't pick an elite-grade item. Besides, I already have the Netherwolf summon, an undead species. This summoning star device should be useful. Without further thought, Su Yuan placed his hand on the tombstone, communicating with it using star power. Gradually, the tombstone glowed red, pulling Su Yuan into it in an instant. The surroundings were a pitch-dark wilderness, with the remains of various creatures scattered everywhere. Not far ahead of Su Yuan, on top of a square altar, sat a humanoid star beast holding a ghostly soul wand, glowing all over with a greenish-blue hue. Netherworld Great Mage. Grade Master. Level Bronze High Stage. A Bronze High Stage Master Star Beast. Su Yuan's expression slightly tensed. Feeling the unrestrained, thick star power from the opponent, it wasn't hard to discern that this was undoubtedly a Bronze High Stage Star Beast with sea-level star power talent. It was also the strongest star beast he had encountered so far, surpassing even the golden-eyed silver winged tiger of the same master quality. Compared to the more direct attack methods of the golden-eyed silver winged tiger, the Netherworld Great Mage in front of him was clearly much trickier. Just as Su Yuan was assessing the opponent, the Netherworld Great Mage stood up, and sharp, piercing characters emerged from its mouth. Alpha nu Thetaropiote nu Alpha nu Alpha, human. Although Su Yuan couldn't understand it, he could feel that this undead mage possessed high intelligence. Let's test its strength first. Su Yuan formed a seal with his left hand. The gate of Hell opened in front of him, and 4 bronze high-stage Netherfire Steelbone wolves emerged from it. Go! With a command from Su Yuan, the 4 massive Netherfire Steelbone wolves charged forward simultaneously. Seeing these bone wolves, a hint of surprise flashed across the Netherworld Great Mage's face, seemingly not expecting that Su Yuan would summon undead creatures. The Netherworld Great Mage cackled, raising his ghostly soul wand. Pointing at the 4 Netherfire Steelbone wolves, for greenish energy beams flew from the wand, entangling the steel wolves' bodies deftly. In an instant, the running speed of the 4 Netherfire Steelbone wolves dropped by nearly half. Green skill, Netherworld Entanglement. Then the Netherworld Great Mage's wand gathered death energy again, swiftly building up power. In just a few moments, a strong wave of energy surged across a large area ahead. Su Yuan raised his eyebrow, shouting, "Scatter!" The 4 Netherfire Steelbone wolves instinctively sensed the danger. Hearing Su Yuan's command, they immediately scattered to the sides without hesitation. However, under the effect of Netherworld Entanglement, the Steel Wolves' speed significantly reduced. They hadn't managed to get far before a Netherworld pulse exploded within a range of several tens of meters in diameter. 2 Netherfire Steelbone wolves barely escaped from the range, while the remaining 2 were shattered into scattered fragments of bones on the spot by the powerful Netherworld pulse. Its attack power is indeed formidable, but judging from the pulse explosion just now, it shouldn't be enough to completely destroy the Netherfire Steelbone wolves with a single hit. It seems this slowdown skill also has a damage-enhancing effect. Su Yuan wasn't too concerned about the sacrificed Netherfire Steelbone wolves, quickly analyzing the capabilities of the Netherworld Great Mage in his mind. The Netherfire Steelbone wolves had strong physical defenses, but their resistance to star power was limited, making them somewhat counter by magician-type enemies, especially since the opponent was a Master Star Beast. Against opponents of a mid to upper level, the Netherfire Steelbone wolves could be quite effective. But in this top-tier duel, it mainly depended on his own strength. He controlled the 2 Netherfire Steelbone wolves to move to the sides, waiting for the right moment to launch the Netherfire cannon. Silver light flashed in Su Yuan's eyes as he instantly teleported behind the Netherworld Great Mage, swinging a blade infused with space-cut energy. The long blade slashed down swiftly. The Netherworld Great Mage was startled, and its entire body instantly transformed into a deep green, ethereal state. The blade with space cut passed through its body directly, having no effect. It negated my attack through complete virtualization. Su Yuan's eyes narrowed slightly. Similar to that evil card master's blood body, but even more troublesome. Dozhao's blood body was an energy body, and getting struck by the Space Force and Space Cut would cause significant energy loss. The Netherworld Great Mage's move changed its own state directly, rendering Su Yuan's slash completely ineffective, causing no harm at all. The Netherworld Great Mage turned around, pointing its wand at Su Yuan. The wand's tip brimmed with death energy, shooting out a Netherworld beam. Su Yuan enveloped himself in silver light. Just before the Netherworld beam hit, he used flashback to teleport several meters away, evading the energy attack. At that moment, from the sides of the undead mage, 2 Netherfire cannons, blazing with black flames, came at high speed. These were the attacks launched by the 2 Netherfire Steelbone wolves Su Yuan had positioned on either side. Facing this assault, the Netherworld Great Mage remained unperturbed. The ghostly soul wand flicked in front of it, unleashing a shield imbued with death energy. Boom, boom. The 2 Netherfire cannons hit the shield simultaneously, causing slight ripples, but were easily blocked and extinguished by the Death Spirit shield. Witnessing this, Su Yuan's eyes lit up. Its ethereal state can completely immunize physical-based attacks, but it cannot resist pure star energy attacks. In terms of destructive power, Space Cut was undoubtedly stronger. But when the Netherworld Mage entered its ethereal state, it didn't even need to defend, relying instead on a defense shield against the Netherfire cannons from the Netherfire Steelbone wolves. At this moment, the Netherworld Great Mage's form solidified again, returning from its ethereal state. Can last at least 4 seconds. Cast intervals unknown. A quick thought flashed through his mind. The black light on Su Yuan's right hand holding the dragon armor saber grew darker, while a ball of gray flame rapidly gathered in his left hand. Su Yuan raised his hand and slashed. A 10-meter-long boundary breaking line sliced through the Netherworld Great Mage, tearing through space. The netherworld shield only held for a moment before being split in two. At the same time, Su Yuan immediately raised his left hand. The fully charged gray flame strike shot out like lightning, reaching the netherworld great mage in an instant. The netherworld great mage hadn't expected his death spirit shield to be suddenly broken. Facing the incoming gray flame strike, he barely had time to raise the ghostly soul wand in his hand to block it. The gray flame strike exploded violently, and the rolling flames instantly swallowed the netherworld great mage. However, in just a moment, amid a strong surge of death energy, a large amount of azure blue flames was completely extinguished. The netherworld great mage easily blocked the gray flame strike with just his ghostly soul wand and his own astonishing star power. Such star power strength was simply terrifying. But before the netherworld great mage could move, two netherfire steelbone wolves had already charged from both sides, their netherfire steel claws swinging down. Zeta Omicron, beast! The netherworld great mage shrieked. Green light flowed over him as he entered a virtual state again in the nick of time, attempting to withdraw. The two netherfire steelbone wolves missed, but did not give up. They closely pursued, continuously attacking the netherworld great mage in his virtual state. 1 second, 2 seconds. The netherworld great mage's expression grew grim. He raised his wand, and a surge of powerful energy waves expanded from his center. The two netherfire steelbone wolves instinctively tried to retreat, but under Su Yuan's force control, they couldn't move back an inch. They could only relentlessly attack the virtualized netherworld great mage. A brief charge up later, the powerful netherworld pulse exploded again. The two netherfire steelbone wolves at the epicenter instantly shattered into pieces. Having just dealt with the two netherfire steelbone wolves, the netherworld great mage quickly solidified, exiting his virtual state. For seconds, not far away, Su Yuan was already prepared. He swung the dragon armor saber, and a boundary-breaking line swept across the netherworld great mage's newly solidified body. Sensing the spatial disturbance, the netherworld great mage reacted abruptly. But he was not adept at speed, overwhelmed by a series of attacks. He couldn't dodge in time. Gamma Alpha Mute Omicron, damn it. The netherworld great mage's figure stalled briefly before the boundary-breaking line, which had ascended to the transformation realm recently, instantly split him in two. The half-corpse fell to the ground, motionless. Su Yuan, holding the dragon armor saber, stepped forward. After taking just 2 steps, he stopped, squinting at the corpse ahead. If you remembered correctly, until now, this netherworld great mage hadn't used any blue-grade skills. Even though he had used skills like netherworld pulse, virtualization, and death spirit shield, they were based on his strong star power. They didn't seem to have the strength of a blue skill. Had he been too quick to utilize his series of combos? Or was that skill not meant to be actively used? Su Yuan put away the dragon armor saber and spread his hands. 2 balls of azure blue flames rapidly gathered. No matter if you have any backup, if I turn your remains to ashes, you can't use them, right? Su Yuan's expression was indifferent. In a short time, the 2 gray flame strikes were fully charged. At this moment, a bright green shadow suddenly flew from the upper half of the netherworld great mage's severed body, rushing straight at Su Yuan. In the shadow, the crazed and twisted face of the netherworld great mage could be faintly seen. Pi Gamma Alpha Iota Nu Epsilon Sigma Tau Omicron Delta Iota Omicron Lambda Omicron. Go to hell. Su Yuan didn't hesitate. He shot the 2 gray flame strikes at the netherworld great mage's shadow. The shadow was immediately dimmed, but wasn't dispersed. Barely slowing down, it kept rushing towards Su Yuan, closing in within moments. Su Yuan frowned. Amazing resistance to star power. The death-related spells sure are troublesome, especially powerful undead creatures. Though unclear about the effect of this skill, he couldn't let it touch him. A silver flash in his eyes, and the next moment, Su Yuan instantly teleported 100 meters away, using wind walking to speedily retreat while gathering 2 more gray flames in his hands. This time, Su Yuan intended to use Twin Phoenix Strike to try and obliterate the green shadow formed by the Netherworld Great Mage. Seeing Su Yuan teleport away, the green shadow crazily pursued. Moments later, Su Yuan's hands merged, and two entwined gray flames shot out, hitting the rapidly approaching green shadow in an instant. The green shadow twisted and blurred, dimming further, yet still not dissipating. Delta epsilon nu mu pi omicron rho epsilon nu alpha mu epsilon sigma kappa omicron how sigma epsilon iota. You can't kill me. Stay updated through Novel Bandcom. The Netherworld Great Mage's shrill scream grew even more frantic. He burned vitality to greatly increase his speed, aiming to possess Su Yuan in the shortest time. The vitality burning effect was significant. The green shadow's speed drastically increased, rapidly closing the distance. Su Yuan's 3-second instant teleportation interval had passed, allowing for another teleportation. But he knew this only delayed the inevitable. With the other's increased speed, lasting another 3-second interval was nearly impossible. Whatever happened if caught wouldn't be good, given the opponent's wickedness. I must destroy this shadow. But if even my strongest current magic Twin Phoenix Strike can't stop it, what else could work? Just then, Su Yuan's eyes brightened as he remembered something. Pilferot Alpha, giving up? The Netherworld Great Mage cackled, seeing Su Yuan stand still. Just then, Su Yuan quickly formed a seal with his hands. A golden flash passed by. The next moment, a faint golden holy light pillar, brimming with sacred aura, descended onto the Netherworld Great Mage's head. Holy light baptism. Alpha. The green shadow, transformed from the Netherworld Great Mage, screamed sharply, twisting and disintegrating under the holy light. It works. Su Yuan was delighted. He quickly formed another seal, causing sacred golden lights to continuously shine down on the Netherworld Great Mage below, like spotlights. Moments later, the screams weakened. With a bang, the green shadow finally burst apart, leaving only a dark green star core falling to the ground. Even then, Su Yuan didn't stop, letting 5 or 6 more holy light baptisms shine down mercilessly on the star core. This time, there was no more movement. Su Yuan finally relaxed a bit, stepping forward to the star core. May the holy light bless you. After saying this, Su Yuan leaned down, picking up the star core left by the Netherworld Great Mage. Just as he was about to use the extraction function to check for skills, the world shook violently. At the same time, on the altar ahead, a stone column slowly rose, holding a black ring. There was no need to think. This must be the summoning star device. Su Yuan stepped forward, grabbed the ring, and before he could examine it, was teleported away by the surrounding surge of death energy. Darkness flickered before his eyes, and Su Yuan suddenly found himself somewhere outside the White Bone Hall. Automatically teleported out, Su Yuan raised his head and looked around. From a distance, he could still see the White Bone Hall, confirming that he was indeed outside. It seemed that this teleportation mechanism was set by Saki to prevent one person from repeatedly challenging and taking all the treasures. Su Yuan looked at the black ring in his hand and carefully examined his first blue-grade star device. The ring was neither gold nor jade. It seemed to be made of some kind of stone, cool to the touch, with a ferocious demon head carved on it. His spiritual power penetrated it, and he quickly obtained information about this star device. Hell Chanting Ring. Grade, Master Quality. Introduction. An ancient ring from the depths of the abyss. Effects. 1. Enhances the wearer's spiritual power. 2. When subjected to a strong spiritual attack, it automatically generates a demon possession shield to block the attack using the accumulated energy within the ring. Can also be used actively, with a casting interval of 1 day. 3. Each time a hell creature is summoned, at least one additional summoning, up to epic grade, can be produced. There are actually 3 effects. Su Yuan was shocked. As expected of a blue-grade non-weapon star device, even green-grade star devices of the same type rarely had 2 effects. The first 2 effects are relatively ordinary, But the third effect must be the core of this ring. Being able to additionally increase the number of summoning creatures was a straightforward and brutal effect. Ordinary summoning creatures could be overlooked, but if the summoned creatures were individually powerful, that made a significant difference. For instance, with Netherwolf Summon, as the skill level increased, the realm and quantity of the summoned Netherfire Whitebone Wolves would also increase. But for some summoning cards, even reaching perfection wouldn't increase the number of summoning creatures. Instead, it would enhance the creatures in terms of realm, elements, skills, and equipment. Typically, these summoning cards with only one summoning creature were called general cards, while Netherwolf Summon was called a soldier card. General cards focused on quality, while soldier cards balanced quantity and quality. How to combine the two was up to the summoner's decision. In this hell, Chanting Ring could summon at least one additional creature, doubling the effect for a high-level general card. Thinking about this, Su Yuan was even more delighted. The first two effects were okay, but the last effect truly befit the noble blue grade of this ring. After putting on the Hell Chanting Ring, Su Yuan immediately felt a surge of clarity in his mind. His spiritual power within his sea of consciousness had more than doubled, significantly enhancing both his perception and thinking abilities. Of course, this was also because Su Yuan was currently only at the bronze level, making the enhancement from the star device quite obvious. Most star devices provided fixed enhancements. As for star devices that could enhance an attribute by a percentage, they didn't exist below the legendary level. A transformation realm Netherworld Fire Skeleton Wolf can summon 4. Wearing this Hell Chanting Ring, I wonder how many more it could summon. Su Yuan couldn't wait to try it, but since he had just used Netherwolf Summon while dealing with the Netherworld Great Mage, it was still in the casting interval. At that moment, Su Yuan suddenly sensed something and frowned, looking up. From high above, a black figure descended like a cannonball. Su Yuan remained calm. His eyes flashed silver, and he suddenly disappeared from where he stood. Boom! With a loud crash, a strong white shockwave burst out in all directions. Su Yuan slowly stood up from the crater he had made. Turning his head, he saw Su Yuan, surrounded by flowing silver light, flash dozens of meters away, and couldn't help but frown slightly. Instant movement. Was it luck that allowed him to obtain this extremely rare star card? Or was the other person a space star car master himself? Another ambush. As expected, evil car masters are all sneaky. Su Yuan raised his hand, and the dragon armor saber appeared and fell into his hand. Su Yuan looked puzzled. What do you mean? It seems the second person has arrived too. Mo, Wenwen, and Do Xiao approached from the other side, surrounding him. Although the strategy was simple, it was effective. We managed to teleport the two who passed the third level here one after another. Do Xiao grinned and nodded. You two took the stuff from that last kid first. Either way, I get first pick of this one's belongings. Before he could finish, Do Xiao saw the appearance of the person in front of him. Suddenly, it felt like a bolt of lightning struck his mind, and he stopped cold, trembling all over. Seeing that Do Xiao hadn't followed, Mo Wenwen turned her head in confusion. Do Xiao, it's you. Read new chapters at novelbin.com. Do Xiao snapped back to his senses. His face flashed through astonishment, panic, and gloom. Such an unusual reaction stunned both Mo Wenwen and Tu Yuan, who was still at a distance. The three had worked together for over 2 years. When had Do Xiao ever reacted like this? But soon, the two understood. He's the one who forced you to self-destruct your blood, origin transformation body. Mo Wenwen's smile faded, and she asked seriously. Do Xiao clenched his fists and gritted his teeth. It's him. So you want my stuff? Su Yuan chuckled, gripping the long saber in his hand slightly. Watch out! Tu Yuan seemed to sense something and suddenly shouted. With a flash of silver, Su Yuan immediately disappeared from his spot. Feeling a faint spatial disturbance from behind, Do Xiao was shocked and was about to dodge when he felt a flash of pain on his neck. Since you escaped with your life last time, you should have stayed away with your tail between your legs. You dare to appear before me again. A cold voice whispered in his ear. Do Zhao's eyes widened, his gaze frozen as he involuntarily glimpsed a pair of indifferent silver eyes. In the next moment, blood spurted, his head flew, and his face remained full of shock and fear. This time, Do Zhao didn't even have a chance to use his blood origin transformation before being beheaded. Thud, thud. His head fell, his body collapsed, blood soaking the ground. Do Zhao. Mo Wenwen's pupils trembled. Her eyes filled with disbelief. Do Zhao died just like that? In the instant that Mo Wenwen was shocked and distracted by the sudden change, Su Yuan moved, lifting the long saber and rushing toward her. Boom! A sonic boom echoed, and a shockwave exploded. Amid the white turbulence, Tu Yuan shot forward like a human cannonball. Just as Su Yuan was about to close in on Mo Wenwen, Tu Yuan punched toward him. What speed! What powerful fist force! Su Yuan's eyes narrowed. If he used hardened iron armor to take this blow head-on, he would likely be severely injured by the opponent's staggering fist power. As 3 seconds passed, Su Yuan's eyes flashed silver, and he decisively used instant movement again, retreating dozens of meters to avoid the powerful punch. Be careful. This guy is strong. Tu Yuan glanced at Do Zhao's body on the ground, then looked ahead at Su Yuan, raising his guard to the highest level. Mo Wenwen snapped out of it. Remembering what had just happened, her face paled, then turned red with anger and shame. She had been intimidated by someone younger than herself, and almost got killed. If Tu Yuan hadn't arrived in time, her fate would have been no better than Do Zhao's. I got it. Mo Wenwen's face turned grim. With a wave of her hand, a giant ghost face appeared behind her, and more than a dozen figures emerged from it. One of them, with red hair and red eyes, was Geng Qiui, who had just passed the 3rd level. Explore more adventures at novelbin.com. Go kill him! Mo Wenwen shouted in a deep voice. Out of the dozen insect servants, who were at least bronze middle stage, broke away from the group and charged at Su Yuan. Geng Qiui and the remaining insect servants, under Mo Wenwen's control, expanded outward with her at the center. Mo Wenwen knew very well that considering Su Yuan's terrifying instant movement, she had to prioritize her own safety. Among the 3 of them, Tu Yuan was a pure martial arts warrior. Do Zhao's blood power was versatile, capable of both close and long-range combat. Only her close combat ability was the weakest. Among the 4 insect servants charging at Su Yuan, 1 was bronze high stage, and 3 were bronze middle stage. One of them even wore a school uniform from a 2nd stage city academy under Qing province. Unlike the insect servant Zhuang Sun encountered earlier, who didn't use any skills, these insect servants, under Mo Wenwen's control, displayed various skills from a distance. Flame explosion technique, high stage ice cone technique, water dragon bullet. They were all green skills. Bronze level strength indeed had a comprehensive improvement compared to a star apprentice. However, without restricting his movement, hitting Su Yuan with these skills was undoubtedly difficult. With just a step, a gust of wind surged out. With a slight use of wind walking to affect the trajectory of these skills, Su Yuan easily dodged all of them. Star power is limited. This needs to be a quick battle. He just came out from the 3rd layer. Although the fight with the Netherworld Great Mage went fairly well, it also consumed a lot. The opponents were well rested, so the longer the battle dragged on, the more disadvantageous it was for him. But really, you're all scared and gathered together? Su Yuan chuckled softly, raised his hand, and a gray light flickered in his palm, aimed at Tu Yuan and the others. Tu Yuan and Mo Wenwen immediately felt something was off. Before they could ponder, they felt a powerful, invisible pressure descending upon them. Elemental magnetism pressure fell from the sky, instantly enveloping Tu Yuan, Mo Wenwen, and the numerous insect servants scattered around. What? Tu Yuan and Mo Wenwen's bodies sank suddenly, letting out muffled grunts. This is the gravity field Do Zhao mentioned. Tu Yuan spoke in a deep voice, and a large amount of white mist surged from his body, quickly stabilizing his stance. Mo Wenwen's body was not as strong as Tu Yuan's. She nearly collapsed under the pressure, hastily erupting her star power to resist the pressure, then slowly and arduously stood up. Even so, both found moving extremely difficult. As for the surrounding insect servants, besides Geng Xiaoyi, they were all pinned down and unable to move, sprawling across the ground. Damn it, the range of this gravity pressure is actually this large. Dou Xiao had previously mentioned that Su Yuan could use a type of gravity field, but Dou Xiao didn't know, nor did he expect, the range of Su Yuan's transformation realm gravity field to be so vast. At this moment, to guard against Su Yuan's instant movement attack, Mo Wenwen had gathered numerous insect servants around her, and even Tu Yuan was close by to protect the magician Mo Wenwen. Everyone got caught in one move. At this moment, an indistinct yet astonishing spatial fluctuation came from the front, making Tu Yuan's heart race. He looked up to see Su Yuan wielding a long blade, emitting deep black light. "Not good, retreat," Tu Yuan shouted, stepping back fiercely. With a talent buff, Tu Yuan's senses in battle were particularly sharp. Before, when Su Yuan prepared to use instant movement to kill Dou Xiao, Tu Yuan had already sensed it and warned Dou Xiao. Now, with Su Yuan slashing out the boundary-breaking line, Tu Yuan felt an extremely strong sense of foreboding, as if a single misstep would cost him his life. Mo Wenwen knew Tu Yuan's senses were very sharp. Hearing this, her heart trembled, and she started retreating without hesitation. To be safe, Mo Wenwen's hand flashed green, swiftly forming a seal technique. The pitch-black boundary-breaking line appeared before them and extended horizontally. Tu Yuan narrowly avoided it, but his abdomen was still cut with a nearly 2-inch deep wound, even slicing his intestines. Mo Wenwen fared worse, nearly sliced in half, with her upper and lower body barely held together by skin. Looking at the wound on her abdomen, Mo Wenwen was terrified, immediately activating her seal technique. Damage transfer. The seal technique that Mo Wenwen had just formed glowed green, and a nearby insect servant, pinned to the ground by the pressure, suddenly had the same mark on its forehead. The faint green light flowed over both their bodies. Moments later, Mo Wenwen's waist wound healed perfectly, becoming white and smooth again, while the insect servant had its waist cut open and died on the spot. "No, I can't take this anymore." Even after recovering, Mo Wenwen was still pale with fear. This life-saving damage transfer could only be used once a day. Using it right off the bat meant that if this happened again, she would surely die here. Thinking of this, Mo Wenwen's beautiful face was full of terror. On the other side, Tu Yuan ignored his abdominal wound. Dozens of strands of white stream energy burst out from his body, and his aura surged. Within a few steps, he broke free from the elemental magnetism pressure. White Dragon. Tu Yuan, wrapped in a large mass of swirling white energy, charged straight at Su Yuan like a white dragon. This attack was formidable, with fierce white energy making it incredibly powerful. Su Yuan initially planned to use the boundary-breaking line to end him. However, sensing the star power within, his expression turned serious. Blue grade skills consumed a lot of power. While using the space-cut demon armor saber alone wasn't too draining, slashing out the powerful boundary-breaking line across space exponentially increased the consumption. In his earlier fight with the Netherworld Great Mage, he had used the boundary-breaking line twice. Just now, he used it again. Even with his sea-level star power talent, he started to feel the strain. Within a heartbeat, Su Yuan had a plan. With a slight move, he ascended tens of meters into the air. "You can fly." Tu Yuan showed a hint of surprise, then sneered, "I can too." Tu Yuan stomped hard. His white stream energy surged, and he flew towards Su Yuan, reaching him in mere moments. Su Yuan's expression remained calm. His eyes flashed silver, and he suddenly disappeared from the air, reappearing on the ground. Anticipating Su Yuan's instant movement, Tu Yuan quickly scanned and found Su Yuan directly below. Trying to flee, Tu Yuan immediately swerved his dragon-like form and charged downward. Knowing instant movement was formidable, Tu Yuan understood that every skill had its weaknesses. Even instant movement was not invincible. Every blink and fake instant movement type of skill had a casting interval. All he needed to do was be fast. Before the casting interval of the opponent's instant movement refreshed, before he could deploy that boundary-breaking space skill again, Tu Yuan had to kill him. Giving his all, Tu Yuan descended with the white dragon form in less than a second. The overwhelming pressure blew the dust off the ground, plummeting towards Su Yuan. Die! At the critical moment, Su Yuan's eyes flashed silver. He vanished once more. Flashback. Suddenly, the space before him was empty. Tu Yuan's expression changed drastically, but his attack from the sky couldn't be stopped. Boom! A huge explosion. The white dragon form exploded instantly, and the surging white flames spread out like a tidal wave. Standing in a massive crater, Tu Yuan gasped, looking around with uncertainty. Tu Yuan knew full well he hadn't hit his target. The opponent had teleported away at the last moment. How? Why can he still use instant movement? Tu Yuan couldn't figure it out, but now wasn't the time to think about it. Suddenly, a black shadow swiftly descended from the air. Tu Yuan's keen senses immediately noticed it. Shocked, he turned around, and white stream energy surged from his fists, striking upward. But then, an even stronger gravity pressure descended. Tu Yuan's prior white dragon technique had consumed a large amount of white stream energy. His old strength had just faded, new strength had yet to restore, and his star power had not fully recovered. The sudden gravity pressure caused his movements to halt. No! Tu Yuan's eyes widened, foreseeing his end. Swoosh! The sound of a blade entering flesh. A black line directly cut down from Tu Yuan's head. Tu Yuan's body trembled, his expression froze. 2 seconds later, he was sliced in half, falling to both sides. One left. Su Yuan dissipated the space power from his blade. With silver eyes narrowed, he looked beyond the dust, his eyes gleaming with murderous intent. Outside, as Tu Yuan's killer blow, White Dragon, struck the ground, Imovuanwen immediately felt the elemental magnetism pressure around dissipate completely. Even the insect servants, except for Gung Xioi, all stood up again. Did you kill him? Imovuanwen's heart leaped with joy as she stared intently into the dust and smoke. But then, something seemed to change inside, and then there was no more movement. This made Imovuanwen inexplicably uneasy. After a brief thought, she sent a few insect servants into the smoke to investigate. Before the insect servants could return with results, a flash of silver light appeared in front of her. A young man with a long saber suddenly appeared before her. You're not dead. Imovuanwen was shocked. Since Su Yuan appeared here, what happened to Tu Yuan? The answer was clear. Realizing this, Imovuanwen's pupils contracted. She abandoned all hopes and delusions. Surrounded by a swirling cold wind, she quickly retreated while commanding her many insect servants to pounce on Su Yuan. Escape, escape, escape. Right now, Imovuanwen couldn't think about avenging Tu Yuan or Do Xiao. She only wanted to survive. What's the use of these shrimp soldiers and crab generals? Gray light flickered on Su Yuan's body, and the gravity domain expanded, pressing down large numbers of insect servants. He was about to continue chasing Imovuanwen. Suddenly, a scorching sensation surged from the front. Not far away, Gung Xioi, surrounded by the flame dragon illusion, slashed out with his saber, creating a wall of fierce flames that blocked Su Yuan's path. Red flames danced atop the fire wall, with fierce flames surging. Their power was likely substantial. Su Yuan's eyes narrowed as he looked at the rapidly escaping Imovuanwen. In an instant, he made a decision. Large quantities of metallic substance flowed over his body, forming a hardened iron armor that covered him entirely. Su Yuan unleashed his star power and charged headfirst into the firewall. Sizzle! The sound of metal dissolving rang out. The firewall's intensity was indeed abnormal. Hardened iron armor was scorched and corroded at a speed visible to the naked eye. Your adventure continues at Novel Bencom. Fortunately, it was only a brief moment. Su Yuan successfully passed through the firewall. Though he was badly burned in many places, his movement was unaffected. Su Yuan didn't even have time for holy light baptism. He left Gung Xiui behind in fully unleashed wind, walking to chase after Mo Wenwen. Seeing Su Yuan catch up so quickly, Mo Wenwen knew she couldn't escape. She had to fight to the death. Damn it, how'd I encounter such a monster? Mo Wenwen was extremely frustrated. She spread her hands, and as star power surged, numerous green flying insects crawled out from under her skin, densely covering her body. These green flying insects were different from the black soul goo worms that controlled the insect's servants earlier. They seemed not to be physical entities. At that moment, Su Yuan flashed with silver light and instantly teleported to a spot not far behind Mo Wenwen. He was about to catch up in moments. So fast, Mo Wenwen was startled and quickly formed a seal. Een Soul Goo, Soul Devouring Technique. Her magic unfolded, and numerous green flying insects flew out from her body, converging into a twisted, ghostly green face. It rushed towards Su Yuan. A spiritual attack. Su Yuan sensed the eerie spiritual energy on the twisted green face and frowned slightly. Spiritual techniques were rare, and there were very few who could master spiritual techniques at the bronze level. Su Yuan wanted to avoid it, but then remembered something. With a thought, the ring on his left hand immediately glowed with dazzling black light. A transparent shield with a chaotic, evil aura expanded around him. The twisted green face crashed into the demon possession shield, emitting a mournful cry and almost getting shattered. As if provoked, a ferocious demon head emerged from the demon possession shield and bit toward the barely stabilized green face. The green face was instantly torn apart, disintegrating into a flurry of green flying insects scattering around. The demon head then opened its gaping maw and inhaled sharply. A strong suction force pulled all the scattered green, flying insects into its mouth. What is this? Mo Wenwen never expected her proud spiritual attack's secret technique to be thwarted in such a manner, leaving her both shocked and terrified. Though Su Yuan was slightly surprised by the Song Shield's power, he wouldn't miss such a great opportunity. He lunged at Mo Wenwen, ready to strike her down with his saber. Wait, he's her friend, right? At the critical moment, Mo Wenwen seemed to remember something. She waved her hand and summoned a person from the black ghost face, holding him hostage in front of her. Su Yuan recognized the person and frowned, slowing his movements. It was Zhuang Sun, who had been missing since entering. Seeing Su Yuan's hesitation, Mo Wenwen relaxed a bit and quickly said, "Let me go, and I'll return him to you. Otherwise, I'll kill him before I die." Su Yuan acted as if he didn't hear. He lunged forward, the dragon armor saber glowing black, and delivered a full-powered strike at both of them. Mo Wenwen was horrified. She never expected Su Yuan, who hesitated moments ago, to launch a sudden attack. The change was too rapid. Mo Wenwen had no time to react. Instinctively, she shoved Zhuang Sun towards Su Yuan's saber and used the force to retreat. But just after pushing Zhuang Sun, Mo Wenwen realized her mistake and cursed inwardly. It was already too late for regrets. Silver light flashed in Su Yuan's eyes, and the glowing dragon armor saber moved along with him to Mo Wenwen's back, delivering a horizontal slash. Mo Wenwen only felt a pain in her neck. Then her body lightened, and her vision spun. In a daze, she saw a curvaceous, headless corpse slowly falling down. It seemed somewhat familiar. Before Mo Wenwen could make sense of it, her consciousness went completely black. Tap, tap. The beautiful head, filled with fear and confusion, fell to the ground. That lively and graceful body would never move again. With Mo Wenwen's death, a peculiar energy wave spread out. The ghost face where she stored the insect's servant reappeared and exploded, unleashing a tide of energy. 3 unconscious bodies dropped to the ground amidst the shockwaves. These 3 were also controlled by Mo11, but since they were only at Braun's early stage, they were temporarily stored by her. Casually picking up Mo11's ring, Su Yuan raised his hand and cast a holy light baptism on himself to heal his previous burns. Then he walked a few steps to Zhuang Sun. Seeing that Zhuang Sun hadn't woken up, Su Yuan wondered if he should use the holy light baptism to try on him too. Suddenly, Zhuang Sun's face twitched a few times, and even his body began to jerk uncontrollably. Fighting back, Su Yuan instantly understood Zhuang Sun's current state. In fact, with Mo11's death, the black soul goo worm controlling the insect's servant bodies lost its energy source and weakened significantly. The people's consciousness immediately started a counterattack. Su Yuan could feel the evil aura from the goo worm on Zhuang Sun's body was rapidly weakening, so he didn't intervene. Soon, the flesh on Zhuang Sun's forehead split open, and a black soul goo worm was forced out. Zhuang Sun abruptly opened his eyes and swiftly reached out to strangle it to death. "How dare you try to control me?" As soon as Zhuang Sun recovered, his face was filled with resentment. He stomped on the goo worm's corpse several times before feeling a slight relief. Raising his head, Zhuang Sun finally saw Su Yuan standing in front of him. "Su Yuan." Zhuang Sun was surprised and delighted. "I wondered why that little bug suddenly weakened. So it was you who helped." Su Yuan nodded, gesturing towards Mo11's body not far away. Zhuang Sun's eyes lit up, gritting his teeth. "Good. Well done." His last memory was being defeated by several insect servants, brought before Mo11 and implanted with a black soul goo worm. Zhuang Sun assessed Su Yuan. "I see your aura is a bit low. Are you all right?" Su Yuan shook his head. "I'm fine. Just a bit exhausted." Luckily, all 3 have been dealt with. 3? All of them? Zhuang Sun was taken aback, then recalled that the woman had 2 accomplices at the hotel meeting. "Really has to thank you." Zhuang Sun sighed. Though he didn't know the other 2's strength, judging from Mo11, they couldn't have been easy to deal with. Just then, the 3 others also expelled their black soul goo worms and woke up. Seeing Mo11's corpse, they quickly understood the situation. The 3 walked over, and one spoke. "I am Gua Xingxing from Chonglin City. Were you the ones who killed her?" Zhuang Sun pointed at Su Yuan. Su Yuan. "He did it." Gua Xingxing looked grateful. "I almost fell here before I even entered the academy. Student Su, your great kindness. I will remember it forever." The other 2 quickly chimed in, still showing signs of fear. Clearly, this incident had terrified them. Su Yuan waved his hand, exchanged a few polite words, and then left with Zhuang Sun. Since these people are awake, the others should be waking up too. Su Yuan thought, but then dismissed it. It wasn't his concern. The others? Zhuang Sun looked puzzled, then realized, "You mean the other controlled people?" "Yes, there are about a dozen more." Zhuang Sun was shocked. "You handled all that?" Su Yuan shook his head. A single elemental magnetism pressure subdued them all. They weren't a threat. Zhuang Sun. Su Yuan wasn't bragging. At bronze level or even silver stage, a transformation realm elemental magnetism pressure was quite formidable and didn't fear a large number of enemies. Holding his stomach, Zhuang Sun asked, "By the way, how many days have passed? I'm so hungry and thirsty. Do you have any food and water?" Enjoy more content from novelbin.com. About 4 or 5 days, maybe. Su Yuan took some food and water from his ring and handed them to Zhuang Sun. Then remembered the 2 space rings he had taken from the bodies of Tu Yuan and Mo11. Space rings couldn't store other space rings inside, as it could cause spatial compression, conflicts, or dislocations, leading to ring damage. Su Yuan had only found 1 ring on each of the 2 bodies and didn't know where Zhuang Sun's ring was. Fortunately, including Geng Xiaoyi, who had intercepted Su Yuan, none of the insect servants' weapons seemed to be confiscated. Otherwise, Zhuang Sun would suffer a great loss. Su Yuan used his spiritual power to probe Mo11's ring first. His sight was filled with a large number of JK uniforms, Lolita dresses, cosplay outfits, and some indescribable clothing. Ignoring these, there was actually a radiant blue star card inside. Su Yuan was stunned, then took out the blue card. Zhuang Sun, about to bite into a compressed food, saw the blue card in Su Yuan's hand and drooled. He was craving it. Su Yuan ignored Zhuang Sun and examined the blue star card. Hellfire. Gray blue. Element. Fire. Introduction. Summons multiple layers of hellfire with tremendous destructive power within the targeted area. Fire element blue skill, definitely from the 3rd level of the White Bone Hall. If so, Su Yuan's heart skipped. He immediately opened Tu Yuan's ring. Sure enough, Su Yuan's eyes sparkled. There was indeed another blue card. He took it out at once. Clatter. Zhuang Sun's compressed biscuit fell to the ground. Another one. Zhuang Sun was stupefied, feeling a bit dreamy. Su Yuan didn't pay attention to him and checked the card's attributes, expecting it to be a demon summoning card. Hellfire Summon. Gray blue. Introduction. High-level demons use this spell to summon hellfire. Hellfire. Grade Master. Species Demon. Element. Fire Earth. Introduction. Constructed by more powerful and intelligent demons using chaotic materials and evil fire energy. This mindless giant falls like a burning green meteor. Its sole purpose is to destroy all life in its path. Hellfire Summon. Demon Species. Su Yuan took a deep breath. It really was a master-grade demon, clearly a general card, combined with the Hell Chanting Ring. This would be a direct power spike. He wondered which card was stolen by those 3 evil card masters, or if both were. But it didn't matter to Su Yuan. Now that they were his loot, he wasn't going to hand them over. I need to find a place to rest and embed these 2 cards. Sure, I'll be your protector. Zhuang Sun clicked his tongue, eyes full of envy. You have 2 blue cards now. I don't even know when I'll get my first one. I don't feel like striving anymore. Maybe I'll go home and rely on my parents to get me one. Su Yuan smiled. Let's move. I think this secret realm will end soon. This trip to the molten lava cave yielded significant gains for Su Yuan. The 3 treasures of the White Bone Hall, Hellfire, Hellfire Summon, and the Hell Chanting Ring all fell into his hands. As a legacy secret realm, with the 3 most precious treasures gone, it would likely end soon. Those who were robbed of their blue cards by the 3 evil card masters would certainly be upset. Su Yuan couldn't help but think of Gung Chioi, the only one among the many insect servants who withstood the elemental magnetism pressure and used a wall of fierce flames to block him. He guessed that Gung Chioi might have passed the 3rd level of the White Bone Hall and obtained one of the blue cards. At this moment, all the insect servants controlled by MO11 had already expelled the black soul goo worms from their bodies and regained consciousness one after another. Is this where we saved? I thought we were surely going to die this time. I wonder who saved us. Why didn't we see that evil woman? No idea, but judging from the scene here, there must have been a fierce battle. That female evil card master likely couldn't take care of us. I wonder if she's dead. Hey man, was it you who saved us? Someone saw Gung Chioi in the distance and asked. It wasn't me. Gung Chioi shook his head, looking at the place on his hand where a ring should have been. It was now empty, and he felt extremely depressed. Although his life was saved this time, he had lost the card he had intended to use as a soul skill after breaking through to the silver stage, the Hellfire card. Gung Chioi looked towards the direction Su Yuan was chasing after MO11. There were still some faint star power fluctuations remaining. It should be over there. After a brief thought, Gung Chioi set off straight ahead, wanting to see what had happened. Perhaps he could still try to reclaim his Hellfire. Seeing this, the others also caught on and followed him in pursuit. Not long after, the group saw the bodies of Tu Yuan and MO11, both of whom had been cut into 2. That female evil card master's body, and another body over there. Could that be her companion? The crowd closely examined the 2 bodies, discussing amongst themselves. Gung Chioi saw the neat and smooth cut on the 2 bodies and couldn't help but narrow his eyes. They were both killed, and by a single person. Gung Xiui was very clear on the strength of these evil card masters. Even with all his efforts, he had been defeated by them. How could someone else have been able to take them out alone? Gung Xiui searched the two bodies but found nothing. Looks like the person who slain them took the hellfire. Gung Xiui shook his head. In that case, even if he knew who took the hellfire, he wouldn't be able to get it back. Not to mention that it had already changed hands once. The hellfire was now someone else's spoils of war. Besides, his life was saved by that person. No matter how precious the hellfire was, it wasn't more valuable than his own life. Gung Xiui sighed heavily and turned to leave. Nearly 2 hours later, Su Yuan not only recovered 70 to 80%, but also finished embedding 2 blue cards, resulting in an updated panel. Su Yuan had originally favored Hellfire Summon more, but after embedding and mastering Hellfire, Su Yuan realized that this card was also quite powerful. Hellfire. Gray Blue. Element. Fire. Level. Entry level. Introduction. Summons 3 layers of Hellfire within the target area, with significant destructiveness. As the skill level increases, more layers of Hellfire can be summoned. Its usage was very flexible. It could either attack a large area by separating multiple layers of Hellfire or stack them together to inflict extremely terrifying burst damage on a small area target. Although it wasn't a linear increase, each additional layer of Hellfire provided about a 50% increase in power. It truly deserved the description on the red tombstone in the previous hall, a top-tier fire element star card with extreme destructive power. Just at the entry level, it had 3 layers of Hellfire, which made Su Yuan very excited about its effects at higher levels. Have you rested well? Zhuang Sun asked. Yeah, more or less. Zhuang Sun hurriedly said, All right, then let's set off. The star beasts in this undead fortress are at least bronze level, so there should be quite a few good things. I've been controlled for so many days, I need to speed things up. But just then, a slight tremor went through the whole secret realm. Zhuang Sun was startled. It's not ending yet, is it? I haven't even started. Looks like it's ending. Su Yuan looked towards the direction of the White Bone Hall and started walking. Fong Kuan should still be over there in the main hall. Let's go join him first. Zhuang Sun nodded helplessly. All right. Around the White Bone Hall in the distance, one by one, the Star Card Masters exploring the maze were forcibly teleported out. Damn, I was just about to enter the 3rd floor. How come I'm out? How did you get to the 3rd floor? I almost cleared the 1st floor and couldn't find the entrance to the next level. There's no entrance. To get to the next level, you need to kill certain specific star beasts. Is that so? No wonder. Many Star Card Masters, after being teleported out, gathered together to discuss the situation in the hall. And Fong Kuan, Zhou Fenghua, and others were also teleported out one after another. When they first entered the 1st floor, they had gone together. But the light beam passage leading to the 2nd floor could only hold one person at a time. So, only the bronze high stage Zhou Fenghua and Pam Long entered the 2nd floor. As for Fong Kuan, AI Xiaoyu, and Yu Changle, they stayed on the 1st floor with a senior at the bronze middle stage, hunting some elite star beasts. After all, given their bronze early and middle stage strength, it was quite challenging to tackle the White Bone Hall alone. Seeing Zhou Fenghua and Pam Long emerge, Yu Changle hurriedly went forward and asked, Senior Zhou, Senior Pan, did you reach the top? No, it was too hard. Pan Long sighed. There were pure demon race beings on the 2nd floor. I barely escaped, let alone reach the 3rd floor. Demon race. Yu Changle and AI Xiaoyu, who had just followed, were shocked. Zhou Fenghua said with regret, Indeed, they were real demons, though the lowest kind. But they were still very powerful, hard to handle even at the same level. Read exclusive chapters at novelband.com. Zhou Fenghua, Pan Long, and others only had green soul cards, struggling against the elite demons in the 2nd floor maze. Fong Kuan, what are you looking for? AI Xiaoyu asked. I'm looking for Su Yuan. Zhou Fenghua and the others also realized. Didn't he also go to the White Bone Hall? Yes, but I haven't seen him, Yu Changle said. Maybe he's somewhere else. Fong Kuan nodded, But another thought popped into his mind. Could Su Yuan have cleared the White Bone Hall and come out early? Surely someone passed the third floor for the secret realm to show signs of closing. Fong Kuan. Just then, a familiar voice called from behind. Fong Kuan turned to see Su Yuan and Zhuang Sun walking over. Su Yuan, Zhuang Sun. Fong Kuan walked over excitedly. Well, aren't you guys all right? Something happened, but not entirely, Zhuang Sun chuckled. What do you mean? Su Yuan took over. We'll explain outside. This secret realm is closing. Fong Kuan nodded, and just then, a stronger sense of repulsion came from all directions. Su Yuan and the others stayed in place. After a few minutes, along with the surge of secret realm energy, one figure after another was teleported out. The scenery before him shifted, and a wave of heat swept across him. Su Yuan calmed himself and found himself somewhere in the Flame Mountain. Not far away were Zhuang Sun, Fong Kuan, and the others who had been around the White Bone Hall earlier. Su Yuan quickly joined them. Sigh, I wasted so many days in there, and came out with nothing accomplished. At this point, Zhuang Sun couldn't help but glance at Su Yuan with a tinge of resentment. If it had been just himself who gained nothing, it wouldn't matter. But Su Yuan, this guy, had acquired 2 blue cards in the secret realm in one go. Damn it, I'm really upset. Fong Kuan frowned and said, Zhuang Sun, what exactly happened to you? Zhuang Sun sighed. Let Su Yuan tell you. He knows better than me. Su Yuan took over and said, he encountered one of the evil card masters. Su Yuan briefly recounted the events after leaving the White Bone Hall. So, you dealt with all 3 of them. Despite lowering his voice, Fong Kuan couldn't hide his astonishment. Su Yuan nodded. This. Fong Kuan sucked in a cold breath. That's impressive. Su Yuan smiled. It's no use talking about it here. Since the molten lava cave is over, let's head out first. Fong Kuan nodded. All right, but before that, we should check in with Senior Zhou. Zhuang Sun was taken aback. Senior Zhou? Yes, I met a team led by one of our seniors from Shuzhou College inside. You should come and meet them too. Zhuang Sun was delighted. Oh, then let's go together. Su Yuan said, since you all are from Shuzhou College, I'll wait for you here. All right, we'll be back soon. Zhuang Sun and Fong Kuan went over to Zhou Fenghua and the others, where the Shuzhou College students exchanged greetings. Su Yuan, on the other hand, reviewed the multiple battles from the molten lava cave on his own. The most dangerous battles in this molten lava cave were against the Netherworld Great Mage and the 3 evil card masters, including Tu Yuan. The issues that arose were notable, particularly 3 points. First, dealing with Do Zhao's blood body and the Netherworld Great Mage's illusory state. Physical attacks were somewhat limited. He lacked a decisive high-power star power attack. However, with Hellfire acquired, this flaw was now addressed. Next, he had to upgrade Hellfire swiftly. Possessing a blue fire element attack skill at the bronze level, perfectly, or even at the transformation realm, would be a trump card capable of burning through any obstacle. Of course, if he fought with full effort, the cost might be unimaginably high. Second, he lacked enhancement skills to boost physical fitness and pure martial arts skills. When dealing with Tu Yuan before, he had to avoid a direct confrontation due to Tu Yuan's super strong close combat techniques, opting for a more tactical approach to defeat him. However, his strength, defense, and constitution were also high, reaching C grade. Exercising these attributes head-on shouldn't be feared by any peer. Currently at bronze level, his star cards included Holy Light Baptism, Netherwolf Summon, Hellfire, and Hellfire Summon. For the remaining skill slot, he needed an enhancement star card, preferably a blue star card. Third, his battle experience was somewhat lacking, especially against enemies with strange tactics. He should observe and consider more. If he hadn't been fooled by Do Zhao's bluffing self-detonation of his blood body, he could have killed him the first time they met. If that had happened, dealing with Tu Yuan and the other 2 later would have been much easier without the intel MO-11 and the others had on him. Constant reflection and continuous progress. Su Yuan took a deep breath. As he lifted his head, Zhuang Sun and Fong Kuan returned. Let's go. Zhuang Sun smiled, looking unexpectedly pleased. Fong Kuen's expression was a bit peculiar. As they walked, Zhuang Sun chuckled. Su Yuan, I heard you were a hero saving a beauty earlier? Su Yuan was puzzled, then shook his head and smiled. Just lend a small hand. A small help for you might be quite significant for others. Zhuang Sun nudged Fong Kuen and gave him a knowing look. Fong Kuen rolled his eyes and handed over a note. This is from AI Xiaoyu. Zhuang Sun chuckled. That shy pretty girl turned completely red when handing us this note. Su Yuan took a look. The note had some thank you words written in delicate handwriting, leaving a contact and a *****. Emoticon. Being young is good. Su Yuan couldn't help but smile. Zhuang Sun pouted. The way you said that makes you sound old. Su Yuan shook his head and tucked the note into his space ring. Up in the sky, a green-haired youth scanned the flame mountain below, his eyes emitting green light as if using some pupil technique. At this moment, a middle-aged man flew in quickly from afar. Special Envoy Liu, any discoveries on your end? Tao Yangping of the Yunyang City Guard asked. Green-haired youth Liu Yu blinked and shook his head slightly. No, Tao Yangping frowned. According to the intelligence, those 3 evil card masters appeared in the East days ago. We've been tracking them to here, but they seem to have vanished, likely entering the Molten Cave secret realm. But now the people in the secret realm should be out, yet we still haven't seen those 3. Liu Yu withdrew his gaze. Perhaps they died inside. Tao Yangping pondered and shook his head slowly. I doubt it. From their profiles, those 3 evil car masters are experienced and have unusual abilities. They're among the top young talents in the Black Demon Association. They've killed nearly 20 Silver Stage people. This bronze-level secret realm shouldn't have wiped them out. Liu Yu did not elaborate, saying softly, Let's head back and have your team question those who came out for clues. Suddenly, Liu Yu's expression changed, making a hand seal as his eyes glowed green. He looked down again. Moments later, Liu Yu's eyes returned to normal. What's wrong? Tao Yangping asked, noticing this. Follow me. Liu Yu's figure flashed, heading to the ground. Tao Yangping quickly followed. On the ground, Su Yuan and the others were moving quickly when suddenly a green light descended before them, revealing a green-haired youth in a black robe. Although in the Great Flame Kingdom, young students like Su Yuan typically wore shirts, t-shirts, or casual wear rather than long robes or training suits. Startled, the 3 kept their guard, about to question when a middle-aged man in a city guard uniform appeared behind the green-haired youth. Captain Class, Zhuang Sun noticed the insignia on Tao Yangping's shoulder, his face changing as he whispered. Su Yuan and Fong Kuen might not recognize the ranks, but understood immediately from Zhuang Sun's words. They quickly saluted, Greetings to the seniors. In the city guard, captains usually needed to be Silver Stage. Mid-level captains were Gold level. Captain Class was Shining Star level. Given that this person was a Captain Class, he must be a Shining Star level expert. And since this city guard captain stood half a step behind the green-haired youth, this green-haired youth must be extraordinary. I am Tao Yangping of the Yunyang City Guard, Tao Yangping said with a smile. Don't be nervous. We just want to ask a few questions. Tao Yangping was puzzled too. What did Special Envoy Liu find in these 3 kids? Liu Yu didn't waste time, stepping up to Su Yuan, asking directly, Have you encountered those 3? Hearing this, and looking at Liu Yu and Tao Yangping, Su Yuan instantly understood they were here about Do Xiao, Tu Yuan, and Mo Wenwen. After a quick mental calculation, Su Yuan said, Are you referring to the 3 evil card masters? Liu Yu's eyes brightened, yes. Su Yuan replied, I have. Liu Yu continued, Did you kill them? Tao Yangping shook his head. Special Envoy Liu, this kid is just a freshman undergraduate at Bronze early stage. Asking this. I did. Su Yuan nodded. Huh? Tao Yangping's eyes widened in surprise at the question and answer, rubbing his ears. Did he mishear? Did you really kill the 3 evil car masters? Tao Yangping took out 3 profiles with pictures. Can you confirm? Su Yuan looked at the profiles and then handed 2 rings to Tao Yangping. These are their space rings. You can check. These are theirs. Tao Yangping verified the rings, confirming they belonged to Tu Yuan and Mo Wenwen. The rings had lingering auras and items used by evil car masters. Lu Yu looked deeply at Su Yuan, then smiled. I knew it. Your aura strongly connects you to those three. Unless you had close dealings, you must have killed them. Su Yuan's heart tensed. This world indeed had many incredible abilities. Good thing he had nothing, otherwise he might be in trouble. Tao Yangping examined Su Yuan in surprise and said, Young man, we can't return these rings to you. We'll convert them into equivalent rewards for you. Also, since you killed the three evil car masters, we'll issue a bounty reward to you. No problem. It's all up to you. Read new chapters at novelbin.com. Lu Yu asked, What is your name? Su Yuan respectfully replied, I am Su Yuan. Lu Yu nodded without more words. Tao Yangping said, All right, Su Yuan, leave me your phone and account details. We'll process it in a few days and transfer everything to you. After Su Yuan left his information, Lu Yu and Tao Liangping flew away. Check this student Su Yuan and the other two. Tao Liangping responded, All right. Once the two were gone, Fang Kuan and Zhuang Sun breathed heavily. No wonder, the Shining Star level's presence is strong. Zhuang Sun marveled, especially that green-haired youth. Even the city guard captain is respectful. Fang Kuan said, I heard Captain Tao call him Special Envoy Lu. Do we have such a title in the Great Flame? Zhuang Sun shook his head. I don't know. I've never heard of it. Su Yuan laughed. We're still a low level. It's normal not to know many things. Forget it. Let's go quickly.